And I'm live. My name is Mike SAHA, and I'm a Christian tall individual being gangstalked in Sweden. What is gangstalking? Gangstalk is a secret persecution program targeting people, and it has connections to the deep state. And if you're gangstalked, I call it government gangstalking because the government definitely is involved. I don't care if you live in America or in Sweden, gangstalking is a government program. It's more precise to call it a government program than to call it a non government program. Now, obviously, the government is going to be involved, and there's going to be the use of proxies, which is the pattern of behavior with the deep state psychopathic power elites, that they operate like six lines of separation or 6 degrees of separation type of thing, where it's like they're not going to have, if they work the form of the rebellion, like the powers to be that control America, create an uprising in Syria or the one of the post-Gaddafi or something like this. That's just a hypothetical scenario. They're not going to send people with like name tags saying, "My name is Bob, I'm a CIA agent," and they go around like, "Hey, rebel against Gaddafi, everybody." Go to cafes and be like, "You should rebel against Gaddafi, okay? You should start a rebel movement and work the post-Gaddafi." If the CIA wanted to post-Gaddafi, they'll work by extension, and they'll work subtly and covertly to make things happen. So as a general rule of thumb, when a deep state is doing something, they like to hide behind several layers of yeah, they like to have a long chain. Okay, it's like here's the deep state. It's like one organization, one person, another group, a person, and then down here they have somebody doing it for them, doing something for them. So anyway, I'm a total individual, taught about gang stalking in Sweden. I've been taught for more than a decade, and the government definitely is involved in gang stalking of total individuals. And I get targeted in the city I live in called Oxelösund, Sweden, and it's been a wild ride, but I'm still here. So it's like I really don't like certain things about social media. There's other things that I do like having a voice to be able to speak out and reach a lot of people with a message. Some things I don't like. We have Pukata-san in the chat, I believe. I think it's Pukata-san. All I'm seeing is Japanese letters. I guess that's Pukata-san. Okay, konbanwa, Pukata-san. Swedish time, konbanwa. Nihon time, ohayo gozaimasu. Possibly it's morning time in Japan, so good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, anyways, yeah. So it's been a wild ride, okay? And this is one of the rare occasions where I was positively surprised, you might say, by a comment, okay? And it evoked a more or less positive feeling rather than the usual people showing up harassing me in the chat quickly if I go live. We see how long it takes until cyberstalker comes in, working to trigger me and accuse me of being on drugs if I keep the chat open to discredit my testimony because I'm a whistleblower. Abusive systems of control voice seek to discredit whistleblowers. So one of the main tactics they use for the cyber stalking. So part of gang stalking is cyber stalking. So I'm a gang stalker video. If I go out in public, even if I go on my balcony here to have a smoke, there's gonna be people that get sent out to do gang stalking activities in the vicinity. If I go to the supermarket, anywhere I go, there's gonna be people that appear in the vicinity that are so-called gang stalkers, and they will target me for the gang stalking program. Now, gang stalking falls online too, and then that's called cyber stalking. So if you're gang stalked, you get stalked in real life. You have flying monkeys, so-called proxies, that will be put up to target in different ways. And one of the ways they target is just by showing up where you are repeatedly. Flying monkeys, proxies of the gang stalking program. The people that work for the gang stalking program will show up around you. So there's nowhere you can go where there's not going to be flying monkeys, so-called gang stalking agents showing up around you, targeting you different ways, and their mere presence is sufficient to make you feel harassed. On top of their mere presence, they will be instructed to do, say, wear, act in different ways around you that are intended to make you feel targeted. So Anyway, I'm a total of gang stalking, so I get targeted online in real life with this gang stalking persecution program. And gang stalk is a secret persecution program taught individuals. So I'm not being inaccurate. Sometimes there's so many things you can label this. You could refer to gang stalking. Gang stalk is largely comprehensible and describable through a framework of narcissistic abuse, meaning if you're targeted video, you are targeted with narcissistic karma, psychopathic abuse, or like forward slash narcissistic psychopathic abuse. There's a smear campaign used to recruit flying monkeys to target you to a large extent with so-called narcissistic dog whistling abuse tactics, which means subtle narcissistic abuse. And one of the common ways to define microtargeting is with gaslighting, work to push your buttons on the style from the virus, aka narcissistic abuse tactics. So now it would be imprecise if I made a video, gang stalking is narcissistic abuse. Okay. And it targets a total with gaslighting is what happened. That's what happened. That is what is happening. They'll be selling short and minimizing it and downplaying how serious it is. Gang stalking is not just bullying tactics. It's not just narcissistic abuse. It's a lot worse. It's narcissistic and psychopathic abuse. And it's more accurately described as a war. And the narcissistic abuse is what? Psychological warfare. As part of the war effort, this war being waged on, if you're talking about a real T, I'm being targeted for real, as I am. You have physical targeting, being attacked physically different ways. Food poisoning, chem sprays, I've been shot left with a dart gun. I've had uh, all kinds of attacks on my body, which is what? A war. If weapons are used, chemical weapons or other weapons to target you, you're in a war. And a big part of targeting is psychological warfare. And a big part of psychological targeting is understandable and describable accurately as narcissistic abuse. So we'll see how this pans out. I'm not talking video talk with gang stalking, talk videos. I've been talking for more than a decade with gang stalking. And it's been a wild ride. Monty walking horror shore. So they used to have an ice cream in the corner store, Rocky Mountains and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. So I can just hit it with some quick things that have helped me being a target video to endure, to remain alive with saying something, with the type of target I'm getting. And and also to thrive despite the targeting. And remain fit and high functioning above baseline in a lot of ways. So I mean I got to the point where I had so much energy, a sign of fitness and health, that you mean like the opposite of being sick and tired? Yes, that's what I mean. People get sick and tired. You get tired and they're sick. So that's one of the ways that I kind of stand out in my energy, my energy levels, uh, my ability to spend a lot of time streaming in a high energy state and perform athletically to a point where flying monkeys had to falsely attribute this energy and athleticism, athletic performance narcotic substances, which is like a common lie and false accusation. I get told when people come and accuse me on drugs, and I'm not on drugs. So, okay, goodbye, Puketa. Sayonara. I had a Japanese person came into my chat and said, "Hello," talked a little bit, a few comments, and I assumed that they also hit the like button on the stream. So, thanks for the like. Take care. Sayonara, and see you around. Gawala, possible. So, uh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be depressed and crying and just in survival mode here, hyper-realized. Just I'm supposed to be reeling constantly from the targeting and be miserable and depressed and really like obviously affected by targeting at all times. Yeah, well, Not today, devil. Not today, Satan. Yeah. Hello, Satan. Okay, yeah. So, you put on lotion and do what it's told. Well, else it gets the holes again. A lot of y'all have been conditioned to use a conditioner the synthetic beeps they want to use, like the types and the brands. It's like there's a saying in medieval combat, like he was cut hewn from head to shoulder, or something like this. Okay, so you get your head and shoulder put over your head, and it's like you're transdermally absorbing uh, certain things, quite possibly, and other things. So this is not getting into what I don't like about social media. Being a person who's dangerous to the deep state by what I know about their agendas, how they're working to make people sick and weak and easily controllable by dumbing them down and keep everybody like operating at a lower level than they should, mentally and physically. That's one of the things that make me dangerous to them, which is why uh, I get strikes and stuff. I've got a medical misinformation strike for talk about stuff. So I've had to augment my style. Stream on YouTube with a cramp in my style. Shit is wild. Now I'm pinching pennies, no doubt. And that's a squeeze, booze, or whatever. So there's an ice cube song. Everything's correct, which is true. So anyway, here's the point. I'm a gangstalked video. I'm a persecuted Christian. I'm a target of institutionalized narcissistic psychopathic abuse. I'm the target of state oppression, tyranny, and persecution. I am the target of group stalking. I am the target of mobbing. And notice how all of these things that you said are accurate and true. And there's different ways to talk about the same thing. There's different ways that I can explain the target, or different things I can call it. So we started with talk about gang stalk. We get into a little bit of general live update vlog type stuff here. So I do have a cold at the moment, which is rare. So I'm in rare form tonight, sick. And I've said it before. I don't get sick normally. I don't come down with colds like a lot of people do. I don't come down with the flu. I don't come down with colds. If I look at like the last few years, it's like I'm not a guy that comes down with colds. It's like I don't get sick. So now when I did get sick, let's do a medical disclaimer because I was talking about head and shoulder shampoo before, and I believe it's bad for your health and you're better off using natural apple soap because I believe that the head and shoulder contains toxic ingredients. Now, to be fair, it's not only that brand. Meaning, in general, if it's a commercial popular hygiene product used in the shower, most of them are going to be loaded with ingredients that I deem to be toxic, that I believe to be toxic. So, short medical disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional. So, a little bit of an update here. So, I did come down with a cold about what, 3 days, 4 days ago, and that's rare. I don't get sick generally, and just like I've told people, my sister fully converted. Okay, another best of success case. Mike's half sister fully converted. She was fully converted. In okay, she was fully converted, and she's a true believer in vitamins and supplements since her brother uh, started preaching to her, got real preachy, and pretty much everybody knows me in real life is gonna have heard about me, gonna heard me rant and rave about the power of supplements, proper supplementation, what they can do for you. Now, I might have more influence with some people that know me in real life because they've seen me sick and tired in times past, and then improving and looking fresher and being healthier in my behavior and my body and looking. And then I attribute like, yeah, it's like I used to be sick and they know that how I used to be, and then I'm all healthy now. They can see that too, and then you tell them the truth, you attribute it to supplements. It's like I've been taking this supplement, that supplement, these diet changes. Okay, so it's like people that know you in real life see the before and after. Okay, so it's like you used to be less healthy and less look less healthy, be less healthy, and then they see you improve, and then you talk about what you've been doing to improve. Okay. So anyway, I'm making jokes, but my sister is a person that uh, I got her to start. taking my advice on supplements, and mainly like megadose and vitamin C. Okay, so working as a kind of health fitness coach, helping her to taught her how to make vitamin C water herself, and taught her about titration about tolerance, and taught her about um, just general basic truths on how to use vitamin C, how to supplement vitamin C. And what she told me is she stopped getting sick since she got on my protocol. I mean, they started taking my advice about vitamin C. And she says she stopped getting sick. She used to come down quite frequently with colds, and correlated with coming down with a cold, she would manifest cold sores. Okay, she would have cold sores. She'd come down with colds quite frequent now and then, and correlated with would come down with a cold, she'd get cold sores. After I start giving her advice and she starts taking it, she reports she stopped getting sick. She doesn't get sick anymore, and she's been cured of her cold sores, she says. So that's anecdotal. It's called anecdotal. Meaning this wasn't like done in the lab where she was hooked up to like a part of 100 double-blind study or something like this. No, it's just anecdotal. It's like I told her start taking this vitamin therapeutic effect. She does it. She reports therapeutic effect like you wouldn't believe. So anyway, here's the point. Um, and she's also told me that the only time it's happened a few times that she ran out of vitamin C, or got like for some reason got so caught up with life and the stresses of life and doing things, traveling or whatever. For some reason, she didn't take vitamin C for a few days, and then it's happened that she comes down with something, starts coming down with something. Um, and much like that, recently I had ran out of vitamin C, so and other supplements. I've been rationing supplements. I've been taking less vitamin C, so leading up to me coming down with a cold, getting sick, like a cough and blowing snot, and do you understand, like cough and a cold where you have a cough and you got snot that you had to blow out your nose and stuff. Um, Okay. If I wrote medical textbooks to train up MD doctors, that is exactly how we describe the common cold to train the doctors in MD school. It's like a cold. It's where you got coughs and stuff, and snot that you got to blow out your nose and stuff. That's a cold, okay? And then when they like to see patients be like, "Do you got snot come out of your nose? That you got blow out your nose and stuff?" And they go, "Yeah. Oh, you might have a cold. Do you have a cough too?" They go, "Yeah, yeah, you got your hold on, got to check my textbook, got a snort, got blow out the nose and stuff, and a cough too. Yeah, you might have a cold, okay? You might have a cold." You'd be like in the office to me, like this tube goes in your mouth, this one goes in your mouth. Oh no, we got the wrong one. This one goes in your mouth. The other one in your mouth, something like this. I know it's on in the office movie, but I'm a bit facetious. So anyway, his support it's almost like self-deprecation in some way. Yeah, there's a certain hint of self-deprecatory humor in there. By the way, his support. Oh, so yeah, I what led up to me getting sick, correlating with me experiencing a disease state, getting sick, manifesting uh, symptoms of bad health, getting sick, catching a cold. Leading up to that, I had been rationing supplements. There's some supplements I hadn't been taking for a few days at all that I normally take every day, leading up to coming out with a cold. And there were other supplements I was taking less of, rationing, because I was running low. A lot of times towards the end of the 30-day period after I get my disability paycheck. So if I would count like my month, okay, from the date where I get my disability paycheck to the next paycheck towards the end of the 30-day period, like a week or so before getting the paycheck again, disability paycheck. Um, a lot of times I ran out of some things, running low on others, and I'm rationing. I'm taking maybe a third or a fifth or a tenth even as much as some supplements. So I have been out of vitamin D for a few days, taking less vitamin C than normal, and which I believe made my compromise my immune system. So your immune system, you have opportunistic viruses and like the common cold and things like this. So how health works, you have an immune system, and then there are things that can compromise your immune system and decrease it in function. Things such as sleep deprivation, stress, intense exercise. So you're more likely to come down with a cold the day after you were like killing yourself in the gym. Okay, you were working really hard. It can even happen. People like Mike said, David Goggins train so hard that they catch a cold mid-exercise. Where you're training so hard that the immune system, while training, is like weakened, and you come down with like you start having a cough, or you catch a cold mid-training stream. That's happened to me before. It's like you. So basically, training really hard uh, can weaken the immune system. So you're more likely to wake up with a cough or a cold the day after like a really intense training stream where you're pushing it to the limit, understand? Now, some other things that can make your immune system compromised is vitamin deficiencies. Being vitamin D deficient, vitamin C deficient, those are two things that if you're deficient in them, you can have a weakened immune system. So I came down with a cold, and remember, I have been taking less vitamin D, no vitamin D for a few days after taking less for a while, taking less vitamin C than usual. So I believe that this weakened my immune system. So my immune system was weak normal. Now here's another factor that contributed to me come down with something. And this has happened before. So to be precise, to kind of amend my previous statement. It's happened. I catch a cold, and it's cured the same day I get it. So it's like I wake up in the morning with a cold. Okay, like you got a cold. Like I know I got a cold now. That's been last for a few days, but it's happened before that I wake up in the morning with a cold, and then before the day is over, it's like I kick the cold, and I don't feel. It's like you feel you got a cold in the morning. You're coughing, you're blowing nose, but before going to bed, it's like I don't have a cold anymore because there's certain protocols and procedures and strategies that I use. Okay, to be like, I got a cold, double down on this and that and the other thing. So when have I come down with a cold that I kind of cure before the day is over? Before it's the same thing that happened now, while also being deficient in some vitamins, taking less vitamins than normal. It's the same like trigger. It's the rapid cooling of my body, partially or entirely. That's entirely. So it's happened before that in the Swedish winter or something like this. Okay, well, I'm living in Sweden, and the temperature can drop. So in the middle of the night, let's say around 5 or something, it's like a cold spike where it gets real cold in the room in the middle of the night if you don't have on a radiator in there or something like this. Or especially if you would have happened to like fall asleep with the vent open, you forgot to close it before going to bed, so like cool air going through a vent like that in the bedroom window, okay, something like this. So it's happened that I fall asleep adequately dressed, but it ends up being overly dressed. I fall asleep with too much clothes. It's also happened I've fallen asleep with my plate carrier body over on me, and I'm sleeping on my back like this. And then it's warm, so I'm sweating in my sleep. And then the plate carrier keeps the sweat from evaporating. It's like a lid, okay? So you have sweat, which is liquid, over around your thorax, your chest, whatever, around your chest, okay, torso. And then the temperature drops while your chest is wet while you're sleeping. So you sweat at some point of the night, you're sweating while you're sleeping. And then the temperature drops, which rapidly cools your body because you have a wet body, wet fabric around your chest. And then the room temperature drops, which like rapidly cools your body. And Max I wakes up with a cough, with a wet chest, with a cough, see. And then put two together. Oh, I fell asleep sweating my sleep. I wake up, it's real cold in the room, so that's what caused the cold. And it had been 8 hours not taking vitamin C when I was sleeping too. Okay. So anyway, here's the point. So that's what happened this time. I've been taking less vitamin C, vitamin D, and other things. And as usual, I have to overdress to go outside because I've had murder attempts by the deep state persecution Gangstalked program. I've been shot in the leg with a dart gun before and sprayed with chemicals by the program from cars and perhaps having handled devices. So I had to wear in this war, I had to wear clothes that act as armor. against at least threats that I previously encountered on the battlefield, meaning weapons that have been used against me before. Chem sprays, being shot leg with a dart gun, I had permanent damage from right leg from that. So after I've been hit with these weapons, chem sprays and shot leg with a dart gun, I've kind of upgraded my outdoor gear. It's like I don't leave my home when I wear multiple layers and being really covered up, like dressed like a Russian doll, overdressed by appearances, like contrasted to how other people are dressed in the same climate, but adequately dressed is an adaptive response to my circumstances because I'm a person living in Sweden, and so these people sent to appear around me every time I go outside, and intermittently they're told to shoot with a dart gun and spray a chemical on me. So uh, it's imprecise to call it overdressing because I'm adequately dressed or attempting to adequately dress uh, for my. So it's not just for the temperature. It's like I'm not just dressing for the weather when it's cold. So I'm wearing these many layers for the cold. No, I'm wearing these many layers to have a chance to stop a dart gun from a CI dart gun that has been hit. I've been hit in the leg before I had permanent damage from right calf. And I did believe that could have been a Bosch assassination attempt, like an LD50 though, shot me in the leg with a dart gun. And I still have a permanent injury. I have a numb spot on right calf from that. So, um, my point is this: I'm overdressed. I went shopping, and I was streaming and shopping in the grocery store, and I got like a scarf and a thick thing around my neck, like a scarf, and then another thick, like neck covering thing that's really warm and thick, and a lot of layers, top and bottom. And I'm walking around our house streaming shopping and stuff. And it's like if you're dressed in the Swedish winter for outdoors, where it's like I'm dressed enough where I can be outdoors in the Swedish winter for like an hour, and it doesn't get super cold. Okay, I'm dressed enough. But if you go into the supermarket and you spend 15, 20, 30 minutes walking in the supermarket with the same clothes, you start sweating. Okay, and then I go outside, and like my neck scarf is I guess dressed moist. Okay, it's dressed, it's drenched in sweat, and then in the close to 0 degrees or minus degree air, it quickly cools this wet cloth around my neck, and you get like a neck cold. So it's like chest colds and neck colds, and then I quickly caught a cold. So correlating to this is like environmental factors, rapid cooling of my body, coupled with taking less vitamins leading up to that for a few days. Less vitamin D, ranging from either like less or no vitamin D at all for a few days. Like first less and then no at all. Um, and less vitamin C. Also, this is some other supplements I normally take daily that I hadn't been taking. So I came down with a cold, and I'm working to get back. So this time I didn't kick it in a day. Okay. Um, so I'm working to recover. Gotta do another disclaimer here. This content does not provide medical advice. All information is for information and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making any change to diet, supplements, medication, or lifestyle. Reliance on any information provided is all at your own risk. Yeah, there you go. So, but now let's get to this. What has really helped me being a target in a war, targeted with intense persecution, gang stalking, and it's not just psychological. I've been targeted physically by the opponent, poisoned in wider ways. And they try to take me out in wider ways, try to make me have accidents. They've tried to have undercover cops provoke me to act in a way that would justify them shooting me, question mark. That's my personal belief, that an opinion that quite possibly that is what they did. They had like a plainclothes police pull up on me. And it looks to me like they're trying to make me think I'm being attacked and get me to lash out in a way that just want to pull the guns and shoot me. That's hypothetical. That I do suspect that was the case. Okay. They try to make me have accidents on numerous occasions. I've been shot in the leg with a dart gun. You can YouTube search CA dart gun sometime if you're wondering what was the dart gun. Something like that. Not the exact thing, but something similar to that is what I suspect I got hit in the leg with. And very well, that could very well have been a failed assassination attempt. that I survived, which is what makes it fail. The fact that I survived. Okay, so boom. Okay, period. New sentence here. So let's talk a little bit. Being a person, why should you take me seriously? Well, I'm ripped with a six pack. Despite 10 years of harder toiling than most targets report, I'm in better shape than the average person. I'm more energetic, and I don't go around showing signs of being psychologically super affected by the toiling. It's like I'm depressed all the time. You never see me happy. I'm always depressed and sad, or like hyperadrenalized and always like, well, no, I'm exhibiting like a strange, like if you look at this, like I'm not as affected. It's like miraculous almost. How you'd expect if you look at the circumstances in my life the last 10 years and then look at how I'm responding, like my state, my physical, psychological state. There's a surprising lack. It's like you'd expect a person to be super broken down and destroyed psychologically and physically, like more permanently by now. You would expect the person to be totally like this and still be energetic about baseline and in better shape than the baseline and actually appear less depressed than a lot of people are. See, if I look at myself and look at kind of based on public and other people on YouTube, a lot of people come off as depressed compared to me. So despite everything I've gone through, I'm not affected in it in the way that you'd expect. So to kind of balance that out and be accurate, more accurate, there's times where I'm super affected by it. There's times where I'm like short term is super affected by the target. Was like I'm really freaking out and losing my stuff and ranting and raving. I'm super angry and freaking out. Okay, and some days I'm super anxious and things like this. Obviously, it's not like it's all sunshine and rainbows, but it's not like a permanent where it's like guys depressed and always sad and feeling miserable is the baseline. And it's like once a year you see a smile on camera, laughing and stuff like this, which is more what you might expect somebody going through this. Or like somebody getting CPTC and it's getting worse and worse and worse, something like this. And not having what I've had, improvement was like I improve over time and yeah. So I'm a total video talk with gang stalking and the Swedish government has involvement in it. And I've been looking to I made a video on TikTok and I might keep the pattern going of making more videos in Swedish about gang stalking in Sweden. They say that all politics are local. So you're dealing with something, I'm dealing with something that's going on in Sweden and involving Swedish people. And I'm the target and I'm Swedish. So I do think there's a place, a time and place for uh, making videos in Swedish about gang stalking in Sweden. And I'm not going to stop talking about it in English. It's a global problem. So it is a global problem. Gang stalking exists in America and in Sweden and other countries as well, European countries. You're going to have tolerance in France, Germany, I would think, other places, and in America, of course, and in Britain, most likely in Britain. Now, most online TS are fakes. Remember that. Most online so-called videos people here claim to be targets out there, they're fakes. So I'm a gang stalk target. I'm talking with secret prosecution law called gang stalking, and I've been targeted for more than a decade here in Sweden. And yeah, as a matter of fact, I got tired of TikTok lagging out as I'm trying to make videos. It's like tearing your hair out, where it's like I'm gonna go live, and it's like an error message. TikTok is not responding, and it's like wait. It gives you two options: close app. It's like end process. It's kind of like control and delete kind of level. It's like close app or wait, and I hit wait, and it's like okay, yeah. So what I was saying is like TikTok is not responding. Wait, okay, and then like 15, 30 seconds later again, and it's like I'm going through to get a clip from a past live stream, and everything is super slow and like laggy and freezes and like I try to get a clip and it's like It's so frustrating. So eventually, it's like, and after I uninstalled the app, which will clear all the drafts and whatever is taking up space since I installed the app. What I've been doing on TikTok has been like take up space. If that's draft or whatever, that should be gone. And I'm gonna install it again. And while we started my phone, I also downloaded this update that they had. I got notification for a long time. New update available. Okay, so I'm updating the phone and I'm gonna re-download TikTok and see if that fixes the problem. So I might have to do that with Instagram too at some point. I'll let you know if I do. First things first, TikTok. So in case there be a problem with TikTok and I can't get back into it for some reason, if that would happen, well, I have kind of Instagram as an alternate platform where I can upload beats and go live and things like this. So anyway, support. I'm a Gangstalk talk video talking about Gangstalk and talk videos in Sweden, and it's a war. Some targets of gang stalking report lie to target where it's like some people claim to be targeted. They may not be. And it's like what you see in the report is being targeted harassment tactics. It's possible that if they're real TI and they're not doing like a cover up minimization, leaving a hangout type of thing. It's like, yeah, I'm targeting gang stalking. It's just harassment. Okay. That they haven't gotten to a point in the target when they become aware that they're being intermittently targeted physically with food poisoning, chem sprays intermittent when outside. It took a while for me to realize that they were sometimes spraying me with chemicals when I was outside. Meaning they have been doing that several times before I realized they were doing it. So also a person like me who's a public TI with some influence and is more dangerous than the average person because of certain qualities and traits and knowledge that I possess. And also the willingness to risk things to fight this fight. So there's a lot of things that I don't have to overanalyze since let you know why I'm more dangerous than the average person. There's a ton of video to the deep state. It's like every TI is a potential whistleblower. And there's certain things that can make you more dangerous as a whistleblower. Okay. And what are some things? Well, knowing more, uh, being willing to risk being targeted harder and being willing to endure harder targeting because you're working to speak out and whistleblow. So anyway, it's the point. And so on and so forth, other reasons. So uh, where's I go with this? Yeah, so it's like I've got a super hard target compared to what I hear some other people talk about. Now, I don't feel like, oh, I'm safe. It's like, oh, it might. No, I'm not saying that if you're target video, it's only me getting physical target. It's safe to say if you're via TI, statistically, most likely they have targeted you physically somehow, even if you don't know that. There's gonna be at least one time they poison your food. There's gonna be at least one time they spray with a chemical. There's gonna be at least one time they did something to target you directly physically. It's more likely than not. If you've been targeted for a few years with government gang stalking, we're not talking about organic, like, I don't know, you're a sports fan who's part of a sports support club, like the type of people going like hold up signs in footballs and like blow horns and stuff and do fireworks. And it's like you go, screw you guys, I hate this team now. And then now these people start like trolling you or harassing you, sort of toilet paper in your backyard or something like this because you forsook the team or you joined the other side's sports team or something like this, some kind of tribalistic thing that you okay. So it's like you switch teams and it's like these hooligans or something. Now they pass the house every time they throw toilet paper in the backyard and like have the horse outside the house. There could be like a organic gang stalk that could end up happening in a certain structure, system, hierarchy that's not government caused and ran. Okay, so there are types of gang stalking in this world. That's not the type that I get. So the gang stalk I get is government gang stalking, much like the reception program that the Stasi had, where I'm talking with state persecution, a program called gang stalking or total videos, and these people are recruited to target me. Now I gave an example. Let's work with a little bit more. Like what could be a real world non-government gang stalking experience? Well, it could be something like, let's say in Sweden, you have like Hammarby AIK supporter. And when they have Swedish football, they have like what's it called? Grievances. It's like they have AIK and Hammarby. And then when they play on sports arenas, these two teams, they have supporters on both sides. They have like one will have like a green, like the logo, the tifo, and then like fireworks and it's like a lot of times they be like kind of troublemakers. Some of these support firms, like hooligans. So it's like let's say one of these like radical, die-hard sport fans supporting AIK, AIK, and then the other team, like the mortal enemy, is like Hammarby or something like this. And then you go like, screw you guys, I'm leaving this. I like Hammarby now. I'm joining the other team, and they see you like on the other side supporting the mortal enemy team now. Like possibly these guys could be like, well, you know what, we know where this guy lives. So, but every time after the football game on the way home on the subway, it's like we go off here, walk past his house, and throw some toilet paper in his backyard, and use like a horse like, outside his house to like harass him. And it becomes like a frequent thing where there's a gang of people stalking. It's like, yeah, walk past his house and make noise. Walk past his house, throw toilet paper into his backyard tree, okay? Kind of like trick or treat type of stuff. And things like this. And like maybe they start harassing you, they got your phone number, they spamming phone calls to harass you. These guys, you suck, okay? You trade or so for this. That would be gang stalking type stuff. And I'm not saying this is happening. I'm not saying these sports groups are doing it, but just as an example. So if that would happen, which is not like a crazy example, okay, there would be gang stalking. Okay. A gang, a bunch of people stalking a person, harass them, messing with them different ways. Possibly some physical target tactics. Now that wouldn't be governmental. That's not government gang stalking. So government gang stalking, the government has a program. The state has a prosecution program called gang stalking. The state is involved in it. And there's people are recruited with smear campaigns to be like your job is to be an agent and you're part of an army of agents that get put up so can find markers to target this person with targeting with targeting as opposed to targeting with non-targeting. Okay, this is an important distinction. So it's a problem. Yeah, I'm not talking video talking with gang soccer talking videos. And this program is run by smear campaigns. I'm gonna check. Looks like I got a comment on Twitch. I can't see that comment. Yeah. So what else? Yeah, I'm a persecuted Christian. Told me to talk about gang stalking, and I've been taught for more than a decade. And gang stalk is real, and I'm not going to stop speaking out about it. I have no plans to stop speaking out about it. And I've come close to dying from this. I come close to dying from the gang stalking. They direct attacks at my life, bad always. And I'm still here, thank God. So I'm gonna finish. I almost have got to finish up. I'm not going to end this stream. I'm going to keep this on actually. Rather ending it, and if I feel like all like 20 minutes, I'll start with one. So I'll keep this going actually. Let's see how long. So let's look at some past police interactions I've had. Since I told you before that I'm a target individual, talk about gang stalking and the government is involved. And there's been a lot of things happening involving the Swedish police force to look like they're out to get me, put it like that. To me, it looks like it. And one event that I might keep talking about is where they had a unmarked police car pull up on me to dudes pretty much jump out and start moving towards me. To me, I believe that there was an assassination attempt. They're trying to create a situation, provoke a reaction in me that would justify them point the guns and shoot me. With plus liability. Is it that they believed that I was covert carrying a weapon or something like this, like a knife? Were they under that impression? And were hoping I would not pull it? Or so they could shoot me? They'd be, wow, we were too close in the sector. You understand? Hide the fact that we're cops. Make it, the guy think that it's been pulled off by like criminals or like some bad people come to get him. Because you had to be a bad person to come get like so and be like hoping he's got a knife on him and pull up on it like this to hide the fact that we're cops. To get the impression that, well, there's people pulling up on me, okay, and hoping I was having a knife on me or something like this, covert carrying it. And I would pull it, and then they could pull the guns to shoot me and be like, well, we were too close. And then if that would have happened, it's like, oh, we didn't try to provoke or anything. It's not that we try to create a circumstance so we could shoot me broad daylight. That type of thing. Or even if they didn't think that I was covert carrying a weapon, which I'm not saying that I was, and that they knew, they might have been like hoping I would, I don't know, like have a bottle, maybe it's a bottle, glass bottle, or pick up a rock or something, or just attack them in a way where they end up shooting me somehow. And then be like, well, we were too close, we couldn't retreat. So one of the good things about Sweden, good, less bad. Swedish police are less overtly tyrannical and oppressive right now. They're hiding it more. So it's like there's I'd say there's less police brutality per capita. There's less police brutality in Sweden than America. Now, fortunately, Sweden is like America light or like America's little brother in a lot of ways, where American statistics 88 plus grams of sugar per day, average sugar intake. Okay, the average American is obese. And Sweden is lagging behind a little bit, but not a lot, see. So it's like, well, you used to have American Idol in America. And then it's like, oh, now we have Swedish Idol. See, same TV show from America imported to Sweden. McDonald's started in America. Now McDonald's is common fast food place in Sweden. Snickers, Coca-Cola, uh, Pepsi and things like this come from America. High sugar diet. More high in America, I guess. But Sweden is a lot of ways similar to America. So I would be surprised if the Swedish statistics on sugar, like gram sugar intake per day, are the same or superseding quite possibly. I talked to somebody the other day, and not small talk, we talk about health, fitness, and stuff. And somebody commented Sweden is in the top 10 of like loose candy sales, meaning the Swedish people buy a lot of loose candy. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's correct. Okay. Whereas maybe in America they buy more packaged candy, but in Sweden it's like pretty much every corner store, supermarket, they have like loose candy by the weight. You can pick it and weigh it. Okay. So here's the point. I'm a total video in Sweden. My name is Max. I live in Oxelösund, Sweden. I'm 89. I'm 89 years old. I was born 89, 1989, which means I'm 36 years old. I have you know, I've been age in reverse. So it's like, yeah, I'm 84. I've been 84 or 89 this whole time. I showed you before and after picture. I've been age in reverse. Now I can't take it to the next level, which I can let you know. True age reveal. I'm 90. I'm 89 years old. Okay, I'm 89 years old. So yeah, now I'm forgot about it better songs. I used to have like a hoard about this big go out of my head from like calcium crystals until I started taking a scoop of creatine today and put some butter in my coffee. And now the horn is gone and I lost 600 pounds of belly fat in 2 weeks and things like this. Okay, yeah. No, by the way, it's a point. I'm a total we live in Sweden, and unfortunately, it's a state program. The government is involved. And I've argued for this before, so let's talk about it a little bit. I think of you being a cop, still breaking law. Let's talk about it, okay? So it's like it's this point. It's like firefighters. Nobody respects a cop who's a criminal. It's like you don't respect a firefighter who's secretly an arsonist because the guy is paid to keep fires in check, prevent fires, fight fires. So if firefighters do the opposite of going and setting fires is being an arsonist, you don't respect that. Just like you don't respect a cop is somebody that will be respectable even by criminals if they're an honorable cop. See, I'm not joking. It's like throughout history, there's been cops are honorable and not dirty, and even like the most hardened criminals will have some kind of respect for them, because like yeah, we are antisocial. We rob, kill, steal. It's like we don't play by the rules, but it's like these cops are like honorable and play by the books. So it's like they're sticking to what the law says they can do and can't do, and we're playing differently. Whereas like we're playing the game of breaking the law and stuff. But now, unfortunately, the police in America and Sweden, a lot of people look at them similar to how you look at like a gang. Where it's like they're like a criminal gang, and they have their uniforms. It's like the Bloods and the Crips. They're dressed blue. They got guns. They back each other up. It's like you have a problem with one of them, you have a problem with all of them. Okay, and things like this. So unfortunately, police has been criminalized, even visually. I've talked about this before. Uh, and Alan Watt, okay, I thought about this before, and I remember that it might have been Alan Watt that got me thinking, and I could see the rest of his analysis, where he said it used to be that the cops were wearing like an innocent light baby blue type color. And then progressively over time by decade, it's like they change it to a darker shade of blue. So now it's like navy blue, which is like almost indistinguishable from black. See, so it's like if I look at old archive footage of like the police in the 30s or 60s in Sweden, they have like baby blue, a light blue uniform, which looks less intimidating and more friendly and blue is a psychological signals trust. It's color psychology, where like trustworthy. Okay, whereas black is more something that you have SWAT teams and death squads and the Waffen SS, the shoot stuff in. Okay, the SS black uniforms, Darth Vader, the black uniforms. Well, actually, the stormtroopers were white, but it's a point. So yeah, there's been a progression where it's like and correlating. It's like as you see the cops getting more aggressive towards citizens and more where you have a reason to feel like there's a threat to your safety, they've gotten from innocent as they gotten less innocent, like the colors are like darker and darker as they gotten darker as in evil. As they gotten darker and darker, their uniforms has changed to get darker and darker. Here's another thing: this type of stuff that makes me dangerous. That being this type of person, I was at my mom's house once, and they had Swedish cops on the TV. They have boys that like the Swedish cops, and they show reports, and they had the format of they show police interactions, to chasing some guy in a car chase to get him, and they show him, they put cuffs on him, and then they cut to studios. This is how the program works, where they have raw footage, and then they go and have a cop do commentary on it. It's like, yeah, so what happened here is the guy was speeding and putting people in danger. So it was important that we got a stop the vehicle quickly or something like this. Do you understand? And I told her this is propaganda. I told her this is propaganda. And I told her this quickly. What they're doing is they're going to be curate it carefully. So there's gonna be footage that they choose to not include in the show that will make the cops look bad or like they did something wrong. If there's anything where they did something wrong or look bad, they'll edit it out. And things are like light bad, they'll have it covered with commentary. Or like, let's say it's a cop that was, you're a piece of shit criminal scumbag. And then they go to the commentary and the guy, obviously, as in the line of duty, you're stressed and tensions are flaring. And it can happen that a cop is so worked up being angry about the kids that could have been hit in the car chase that he cusses out the guy. But as I understand, do you understand? To kind of control perception. Because the point of these shows is to maintain the public perception the way that they want it on the police. And they don't want people to see that the cops are corrupt in Sweden, see, which means they show things that are not evidence of corruption and only that. And if there's light indications of corrupted behavior or okay, then they kind of explain it away with the commentary. So anyway, here's the point. Yeah, this type of stuff where that's me being a total video. A lot of people they watch TV, they can't see like here's the perception management game, how we're being manipulated. It's the intended outcome of this TV show. It's like oh, they work to control perception, and here's how they work to control the perception. Where the cops are acting aggressively, they cover up by kind of justifying the aggression with the studio commentary. And then I would assume that there's going to be clips that they make it into the show where the cops did something wrong or look really bad in how they're behaving on camera. See? So anyway, here's the point. Um, Cops have been involved in the targeting. I'm at a total individual talk with gangstalking here in Sweden. And you know what? One of many things that happened before I became a total video is I'm a person that was wrongfully placed in a foster home by the Swedish state social service. And there's like a light human trafficking component to Swedish social, like CPS, okay? And this entire TikTok channels like Family Night in Sweden where they've had the kids taken from them and they have like panels where they talk about the problem with CPS and corruption in the CPS and wrongful taking of children and things like this. I actually was a guest on one of those shows once. Okay. And I felt like I was able to get on one. It's kind of relatable. That way it's important. Um, yeah, so I got wrongfully placed in a foster home as a kid, as a child, in a bad foster home. Well, okay. And on false grounds, which means I believe that the Swedish state social service made a bad decision in placing me in foster home. And after becoming an adult, like the my own apartment, I called, I contacted the social office and expressed an interest in looking at my records, my files, because I was like digging in it. It's like, yeah, I was done bad. They did a number on me, okay, and I know that there's been some bad stuff here, and I'm looking to like go to the logs in like the records to find things, and I won't look into it. And at first it was some kind of weird thing, and then but eventually decided so that's one of many things. So basically, I was working to investigate state corruption involving me and wrongdoing by the state in the field of CPS and how they're doing bad things, possibly, before I became a total widow, which means I was signaling potentially become a whistleblower about this before I became a total widow. That could be part of like different things together, ending up me being a total widow, quite possible. Quite possible. Quite possibly. Here's another interesting thing. I'm not going to get into details too much, but when I got there is a human trafficking thing with CPS, where CPS takes kids in Sweden, America, and in Sweden, from my research, quite often it happens that the children ends up being abused in the home they get placed in. Okay, so it's like out of the frying pan into the fire. Or sometimes it's like these kids are taken from CPS because maybe their parents had an alcohol problem, were getting drunk too often, or something like this. But then might get placed in a foster home where worse things are happening. Okay. So anyway, here's the point. But the foster home that I lived in, it was kind of in a secluded area in the woods, and a foster home, and I wasn't the only foster kid placed there. And like within 3 miles, there was a Freemason judge. Pretty sure it was a Freemason. 100% he was a judge who lived in the woods, like pretty close to this foster home. I won't be surprised if they did this some meaningful uh, things to that. If there's whatever is the point. Yeah. So whatever. Back to the main thing, the cops. Okay. Back to the cops thing. So, the Swedish police have been involved in the gang stalking, as far as I'm concerned. Now, remember, everything I say in this life is my personal belief and opinion, not necessarily taken as fact. Anything that I say, have said up until this point, and will say after this point is my personal belief and opinion, not necessarily taken as a fact. Some of the things that I say are purely for entertainment purposes. Some of the things that I say in license are purely for entertainment purposes. Others not. So, anyway, that's the point. In my experience, I believe that the gang stalking program involves police. I believe it's a state program, and I have seen Swedish police mistreat me and do bad things, up to the point of trying to murder me. I believe, up to the point of trying to take me out, try to murder me. How? By provoking reaction, making me think I'm being pulled up, and then hope they'll react the way they could pull the weapons and shoot me. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Now, we might get to looking at some uh, past police interactions again in this stream. So let's do that actually. By the way, and here too. So all cards on the table here, meaning I'm not gonna try to paint it like I've never done anything illegal. But it's the point. I'm not a pedo. I have been convicted of any sexual crimes, which I believe that they use for marathon videos in the smear campaign. The target wants to do bad things to your kids or something like this. They're a pedo, and to justify the target. I have been convicted of any sex crimes against anybody. Okay. I have been convicted of murder. I have been convicted of anything like, okay. The only thing I have been convicted of are petty crimes, I would say. Like uh, petty theft. Okay. I've been convicted of petty theft, which means like borderline, like shoplifting level stealing, and then theft and the petty theft. Now, this is, and I can tell the story that too. In my early 20s, living alone and being financially exhausted, I ran out of coffee and cigarettes at the same time. And I started to go through withdrawals. And I called pretty much anybody I could think of to try to see if they could come with a pack of cigarettes, help me out. And they just like somebody they were on vacation, so they was I couldn't get help with that. And he's like, I'm going fucking nuts, understand? So in the small town that I lived in, like I'm going nuts, and I tried other ways, but I ended up going to a store and went in there and just took things off the shelf and walked out with it. Okay, and it was to a value less than 500 crowns or $50, and I didn't sneak it. Okay, meaning I didn't like stuff it. I just walked in, took it off the shelves, and walked out. Okay, meaning it's kind of like a bold thief. It's like I wasn't like trying to hide that I was taking stuff. Just walk in there and get it. Okay, and uh, I'm not proud of it, but that's what happened. And I go home and I smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. Okay, it's like okay, like the withdrawal was gone. And sure enough, there's like the cops show up, and I open up And it's like, yeah, okay. And I didn't deny they had stolen it. And I told them, I think I told them the truth kind of quickly. So, yeah, I was going through withdrawal. I was going nuts without cigarettes and coffee stuff. So I went there and stole it. Okay. And they were like, well, sometimes in cases like this, if you like go back, apologize to the guy and kind of maybe like give him money or pay him back right away. Possibly he withdraw his. So they were trying to kind of they would act like they were kind of reasonable. Was like they were act like they were trying to see if it's like, yeah, okay, this is like a first time possibly I was convicted of a crime or something like this, and possibly they were like, well, maybe you can kind of sort this out with the guy if you try to. And I go, I don't want to. So anyway, here's the point. I got a fine for that. Okay, so that's a thing I've been convicted of, and I've also been convicted of several counts of carrying a weapon concealed brott mot knivlagen, which is the crime against the knife law translated, which in Swedish is a law that entails not just carrying a knife in public, but it's like a part of the Swedish law that says knivlagen, like the knife law, not, laws regarding knives. Okay, knivlagen, knife law, the knife law. And if you carry pepper spray, that falls into brott mot knivlagen, which means if I walk outside carrying pepper spray and the cops take it off me, it will be when the prosecutor sends me a letter, I get arrested, with like brott mot knivlagen, even though it's pepper spray, because it's in the same category. So if you have a baton, a knife, pepper spray, doesn't matter. It is still in the same part of the law. Uh, so as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not an expert in the law, but I know enough to know if something is legal that I've done before. So here's the point. Uh, yeah, so I've been convicted of several. Several times I've been convicted of carrying a weapon concealed, more precisely a knife, out in public, and a baton once as well. Okay, so one time I had a collapse of baton on me out in public. They also got me having a string with a bolt on it tied around my waist once. Okay, and I got convicted of that. So it's like whatever. It's the point. So yeah, nothing like, ooh, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm not like pretending and faking like, yeah, I'm an innocent guy. I've never done anything illegal in my whole life. No, but what I've been convicted of is kind of petty stuff. I've been convicted of carrying a weapon in public, a knife, and petty theft once, and that's it. Okay, now that's years ago. That's years and years ago, like in my 20s, and I'm in my 30s now, 36, and I don't steal, I don't carry weapons in public. Now, I would say this: having a knife on in public, when you're part of a program that has tried to murder you before, and every time you go outside, there's several people around you. There are flying monkeys for a program that has threatened to hurt you and take you out, and have tried to take you out when you're outside before. And the cops are not doing their job in protecting us as a citizen, which the job is. And I see it's like create conditions where people are like, yeah, okay, the cops after 10 years of this, they're not doing their job, and you might have a mentality of better judged by 12 than cared by 6. See, and do you understand? Because so whatever is the point. I definitely count as a mitigating circumstance if a torn video will be caught in public with a weapon on them, because they're targeted by a program that's attacking physically and psychologically groups of people, and they're surrounded by people that are proxies of psychopathic people that they are targeted. If you're targeted video, you're targeted with violence, you're targeted with psychological violence, repeated threats. You're targeted by strangers showing up where you are. They'll be working to make you unsafe, uncomfortable, and directly target you physically into being play. So if a target is like, well, and the cops are not doing their job because it's supposed to be their job to keep citizens safe and protect them from being targeted with assault crimes and things like this, like being sprayed with chemicals when out in public. or and other things talks might be targeted with. Um, well, if the person goes, it's like it's on me to protect myself because there's nobody else doing it. I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. Now, I'm not saying people should break the law. Abide by local laws regarding self-defense use of weapons at all times is what I'm telling people that are watching this. Um, but I could understand it. See, I could understand it. Kind of like I could understand if a guy goes and steals all the time because he's greedy versus a guy who has been hungry not eating anything for 2 days and he goes and steals bread because he's starving to death. He goes to the market and steals like bread. I'd be like, well, this is still that he broke the law, but it's like I can kind of understand how I ended up getting to a point where he did something that radical. Understand? That doesn't mean that you're saying that it's good that he did it. So what is the point? Yeah. So I've been caught with a knife on me a few times in public, and part of the reason I haven't been caught again is because okay, so I started patting myself down because it's happened. I go outside and cause pepper out if a knife on me. So I started patting myself down before I leave my home just to make sure I didn't forget a knife in my pocket. Okay, because it's easy to forget it, especially if you got a knife you walk around in your pocket all day at home, and it's like you just I gotta go and did you forget? Oh, I got a knife in my pocket. So at a certain point in time, I started patting myself down before going outside, like just as I'm gonna leave my home to like check I don't have a knife in any pocket. Okay, so whatever. Now, if you get stressed enough, you might even forget it. But here's the point. Yeah, so nothing really major, but I did get convicted for a few counts of crimes against the knife law, not crimes against humanity or crimes against uh, God or so, carrying a weapon concealed like you're not allowed to carry concealed, no firearms, just a knife, okay? And one time a collapsing baton. So, yeah, I've been caught with melee weapons in public before. Allegedly. Okay, I've been convicted, or perhaps just say allegedly. So it's for, and I don't walk around carrying weapons. I wouldn't say that I do for a long time. Okay, it's been quite a while. Been quite a while, and I do believe that quite possibly the time when the cars pull up on me in that car with the tinted windows, they're hoping I'm gonna have a knife on me, and then approach them in a way where as if we're trying to make him think he's being attacked by criminals. They're like pulling up on him and they're jumping out to attack him now. Okay. So he will pull a knife if he's got it on him. So we can pull our guns and be like, oh, he was too close, we had to shoot him on the spot. Like try to approach me in a way to make me think I'm being attacked by people who are not cops. Hoping that if I got a knife on me, I'll pull it because I'm thinking these guys are coming to attack me physically with weapons, something like this. Um, and they could go like this is a bang 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 and be like, well, he pulled a weapon on us as we got there, and we had to shoot it because he was so close. That's what I believe, like a very subtle assassination attempt. I count that as a murder attempt by the Swedish state. I count that as a murder attempt by the Swedish state. Definitely. Um, so anyway, we're gonna look at the footage. We're gonna look at the footage see if we can find it here. But sensitive viewers be advised. The footage we're about to show contains themes that may be triggering to sensitive viewers. Okay. I mean, if you're taught a video, it might be triggering to you. Police. So here I have a new clip. I
Zero likes.
and put music to it. But here's the clip how the police approached me. And what I'm saying is I believe they try to take me out. I believe they try to take me out. As a matter of fact, I've said this before, analyzing the event, that to me it looks like they were trying to take me out past time in the broad daylight. The way they approached me, everything, it looks to me as if they were trying to make me think I'm being attacked, about to be attacked by people that are not cops, hoping I would react in a way that would justify them pulling their, well, that it would be easy for them to justify pulling their guns and shooting me. That's the way they take me out in broad daylight. So here's the clip.
In the video.
And I was streaming, and I was talking about shadow banning, and I had this little cyber stalking plant, love bombing, flying monkey, fake, long term flying monkey, like love bombing, like pretend to not be a hater, work for the gang stalking program, not being a cyber. I'm just a guy who likes to watch the streams. Mike Dawson, he was gone, with his Snake Plissken profile. So in my personal belief and opinion, he was a cyber stalker. Okay.
This was in the video.
See here. So notice how this day it happened to be really folk, not a lot of people, not a lot of cars. So it's only me walking on the sidewalk. That's the only car. There's no car coming or going. This is the only car, and I'm the only person. Okay. Backfire. Okay. Crossfire, whatever. It's almost like execute. Maybe it's like the coordination with the gang stalk. It's like we're planning to pull guns to shoot him. So we don't want people, see? Where it's like the gang stalk, if you're a gang stalk on video talk with government gang stalk, you know that they can have like flash mobs, they can have less people outside, they can wait if they want to do something to like this is the time, we time it here, we're gonna do something. So to me that also fits my theory that they were trying to take me out here. They like approach him in a way, and what the context is, this guy saying, I wouldn't be surprised if this deep state program sends hitmen to pull up on me when I'm out in public to take me out on this. I said that on my YouTube channel before this happened, in public streams. Okay. And I have said in my public streams I got CPTSD. Okay. And things like this. And that I'm clear, I've said it's like they try to take me out converted before making me have accidents, and I've talked about how they might get to the point where they go loud on me, like send people to come get me or something like this, like send hitmen to come pull up on me and take me out or something like this. And if that happens, I don't care what the tell was, a mug or something like this. It was a deep state gang stalker program that took me out. Okay, so this to me looks like they're trying to make me think, ge mig dödsångest. Okay. Får mig att tro att jag är på väg att dö just nu. Att det är kriminella som kommer för att skjuta mig eller hoppa ut och ska attackera mig på något sätt. För att få mig att liksom få panik. Om jag har något vapen på mig, drar det. För att de ska kunna rättfärdiga att de drar sina tjänstevapen och skjuter mig på plats. Och sen, vi hade bilen bakom oss och vi kunde inte retirera för han var så nära när han drog vapnet. Så vi var tvungna att skjuta honom. Okej, ungefär. Och det är också intressant att innan det här hände så har jag blivit hotad av en polisman i tjänsten. Så att det kommer inte vara så roligt för dig i framtiden när du har med oss att göra. Oss, polismyndigheten. Okej. Det är ett subtilt hot. Olaga hot. Så det är kriminella aktiviteter som jag bevittnar av polismän i tjänst. På flera olika sätt. Och maktmissbruk. Hota och skapa att starta en utredning för finansbrott på mig för att jag vägrar stänga av min livestream. För att jag vet att jag har lagat rätt att livestreama offentligt. Så kommer polisen och ska stänga av den där kameran. Jag har rätt, det är inte olagligt. Men jag kanske inte vill vara med på kameran. Det skiter jag i. Det är vad lagen säger som gäller, inte dina känslor ungefär. Och då börjar mobba mig och eskalera sättet när jag ska få mig att känna mig intimiderad ungefär. Jag ska sitta så här och ha flankerad av 3 andra poliser. 4 personer med skjutvapen. Mot mig en person som stod för mina lagstadgade rättigheter. Och till slut när jag inte säger okej, jag stänger av min livestream fast det är lagligt som jag filmar här. Så börjar han eskalera att först så försöker han stänga av livestream och spela copyright-musik och säger, vet du vad man kan göra om man inte var med på kamera, så tar han upp sin mobil och börjar spela copyright-musik för han tänker att om det är copyright-musik så stängs livestreamen av eller någonting. Men det funkar inte. Och då byter han till han börjar hota att han ska starta en utredning om finansbrott på mig, polisen. Det är klart fall av maktmissbruk. För vad är det som föranleder det? Skäligen, eller är det någonting som föranleder att han kan ha en klar misstanke om finansbrott. Han ser mig en gång, grundat på vad? Att han ser mig en gång äta på en restaurang på buffén som kostar 118 kronor. En gång har han bevittnat mig där. Och säger att han frågar vad jag jobbar. Jag är sjukskriven, Försäkringskassan. Ja, men du äter på en restaurang. Jag kanske ska starta en utredning om finansbrott. Okej. Så jag har all anledning att om jag ser poliser att frukta för mitt liv med hot jag fått från polisman i tjänst och tydligt antisocialt beteende och maktmissbruk och att visa en vilja att skada mig och få mig att må dåligt och sätta mig i fara av polisen. Flertalet tillfällen. Jag har alla anledning om jag ser polisen att känna mig jättestressad bara av att se en polisbil eller en polisman i uniform. Och att tänka att det här kan vara en fara för min säkerhet om han kommer närmare mig. Garanterat. Garanterat. Och det kan jag argumentera för i en rättegångssal också. Det behövs. Så, ja, anyway, jag bytte till svenska. Så whatever. So, back to English. So here's the point. I believe that this was an attempt at my life by the police. When they're trying to provoke a reaction in me that would justify them pulling the guns and shooting me. Provoke a reaction. Trigger reaction that would justify them pulling the guns and shooting me and be like, well, we had no choice. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Because if you analyze it, there's nothing that lets me know that these are police that I'm having to deal with. Until they're like this close, and I ask him if it's a police officer, and he goes, yes. Okay. Because there's just two dudes like street clothing in a car with tinted windows that approach me rapidly, doors open rapidly, and two men rapidly close the distance and get to move towards me. And it's not until like they're standing still and they're this close that I can see something on his belt, and I go, are you a cop? And he goes, yeah. So I believe that was them trying to trigger me, provoke me and get me to freak out, ge mig dödsångest och tro att jag är på väg att dö just nu. Att det här är en attack, det här är människor som kommer för att attackera mig, som inte är poliser. Att dölja det. Och hoppas att jag ska dra vapen om jag hade haft det på mig eller någonting. Tillhygge eller någonting. Om jag nu hade haft det rent teoretiskt. För att de ska kunna, han drog någon, pang, vi var tvungna, han var så nära, vi kunde inte retirera för bilen var bakom oss. Och det var husvägg här och vi var så nära. Alltså, ungefär. Det är vad jag tror. Också intressant att när han öppnar dörren så här, så har han handen så här. Så det kan ge intrycket av att han har ett vapen eller är i färd med att dra ett vapen. Faktiskt. Och om man hade en halsbandsbricka så samma gest som kan få det se ut som att han håller ett vapen eller i färd med att dra ett vapen i samband med att han kommer ut i bilen och öppnar dörren. Döljer också en eventuell polisbricka om man skulle haft det här. För det är under hans arm då. So here's the car. Okay.
0 likes on the video.
And it's like here I'm kind of like whining, quote unquote, complaining about the shadow man. It's like no matter what I do, live stream every day, there's always like 0 likes or something like this. There's no, and also 0 likes on the video. I could have been triggered about this guy in the chat being like, yeah, acting like this former gaslighting, or sometimes people act like they support, hi Mike, love the stream. I can tell they didn't hit the like on the streams. It's like their words are not congruent with the behavior, because the person who was really supporting me would have hit the like button on the stream. And I'd just be like, they apparently got the energy to leave like 10 comments and watch for 30 minutes and like act like they're a supportive viewer. But at the same time, I see the like count that it didn't go up, they didn't hit the like button. So I go, 0 likes on the stream. Okay. Then this happens all the time. I don't like it. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not the problem. It's just people weird. Meaning, trots att jag går live on my phone, like the first 3 minutes, the viewers haven't stopped popping in. And sometimes if I've been live for like 30 minutes, I got 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 viewers, something like this. And eventually some likes, people started hitting the like button. But at this point, it was, I think he was the only guy watching and commenting, this Dawson person. And I guess his big comments was like, oh, he's watching and leaving comments. And he's a guy that's been acting like he's a supportive viewer. But it says 0 likes on the video. Okay. So where is the point? I don't have to do comment on everything
This was in the video.
here. So this is how they approach me. And it's tinted windows.
Beginning.
I notice the violence of action, meaning it's like how to move if you work the trigger press with CPTSD or something like this. How to move to try your hardest. Like how can we, like somebody sat down like we want to be able to shoot Mike in broad daylight. Okay, how can we make that happen? We're using the cops, okay? We're plainclothes police officers, tinted window car, approach him quickly and they like in like a jerk, like quickly open the doors to be like, and there's like suddenly it's a guy that's moved towards you. It's like everything is wrong, as if they're trying to get me to think, give the impression that I'm about to get attacked. It's like everything is just wrong as far as I'm concerned.
I didn't have that many. Tjena! Är det bra? Jag gör live på min...
See, yeah. So what I saw when I opened the door is like just like he's got his hand kind of like this, opens the door. So in my memory, his necklace badge wasn't visible. It was like behind his arm. You couldn't see it. And it's not until he's like right next to me that I see he's got something here, and his arm is to the side now, so you can see the necklace badge.
Vi gick till kanalbas, du vet.
Okej. Kan du lägga ifrån dig då så vi kan prata?
And this is also like standard cop behavior. Even though, according to Swedish law, it's entirely legal for me to film in public, live stream in public, including interaction with the police. The only time it would be illegal, and I know the law, which also helps me to stand up for my legal rights, because it's not like I don't know if I'm doing so. A cop tells me what to do, you just stop doing what you're doing. You say, well, maybe it's illegal what I'm doing. No, I know that it's not illegal because I've looked into the law. So, as it stands, it is entirely legal for me to live stream in public and record videos, okay, in public. There's no expectation of privacy in public. And you're being recorded in a lot of places in public. Every store you go to have like 20 cameras and stuff like this. Okay. And they're saving the footage. So, anyways, the point is legal. The exceptions, so it's not, I'm saying it's always legal in every situation to live stream with your phone, as we know. But in this is entirely legal. Like live streaming, going to the supermarket, corner store, walking out, walking down the street, out in public, entirely legal. I cannot go to public locker room, for example, like a swimming, like a swim house. I can't go to a gym, a public gym, and live stream in the locker room where people are changing clothes and like the shower rooms, obviously. But it's the type of things that common sense that you wouldn't try doing it unless you're crazy. Okay. I can't walk up to a guy's house and put the camera in his window and film into his home. Like if he's sitting in his, he could be sitting there in like his boxer shorts, watching sports. Understand? It's like that's a breach of privacy. I can't be filming into somebody's home, okay, from the outside. And I couldn't film människor utsatta. So I couldn't be filming a guy, possibly a situation where it's like somebody is drunk and has fallen asleep naked on the ground and it's like vomiting or shitting themselves like an alcohol, like a time drunk, something like this. They end up being naked and uh, like this, and I go and film them in that situation. That could be illegal. So here's the point. I'm also not allowed to, as a citizen journalist or just a person, a citizen live streaming, I can't be interfering with EMS workers in the duties, which means I'm well, it's fully legal for me to live stream. Like if I'm outside walking and there's an ambulance parked somewhere, and did work on something and there's like a fire truck. Let's say I'm outside live streaming, and one of these days, like there's a fire truck, one of the pop cars I pass on my way home, there's like smoke and there's a fire truck and police there and in movement. I can like film that like the media does and take pictures and film that. But I can't be like getting in the way. See, I can't like jump into the mix and like get in the way if they work to rest somebody. I can't like jump in there and be in the way as they work to rest somebody. I can't be like interfering with what they're doing. I can't get in the way and not be filming. I can film from a distance without getting in the way of what they're working to do. So I know that the exceptions, but generally it's entirely legal for me to live stream in public. I can film live stream. I can film videos. I can live stream. So anyway, standard but behavior from the cops at times after they approach me is they tell me to turn off my live stream, and I let them know that it's not illegal. Okay, like no, it's not illegal. Okay, and it did get corrupt enough to be like, yeah, I don't care, you're gonna turn off anyway. Yet, but a lot of times they go, oh yeah, you got a point. Okay, but at least they try to tell me to turn off the live stream.
Ett ögonblick. I just got stopped by police here.
Hej, vad heter du?
Hi, what's your name? Hej, vad heter du? Now we got translate this for American English speaking viewers. Or British English. British English people could understand American English. So, hi, what's your name? So let's run it back and get it from the beginning. And I'll do a translation of this part, which is 60 seconds. Okay, so let's look at it again.
0 likes on the video. This was in the beginning.
The tinted windows.
I didn't have that.
They pull up on me, they stop abruptly in front of me. Door swings open, and on the other side, the other door is also swing open. So there's both doors opening simultaneously or near simultaneously, and 2 men exit the vehicle simultaneously, near simultaneously. And both of them in unison begin moving towards me.
Tjena.
And I said, I was like, hello, good morning. Or like, hi there, okay. It's like kind of like a slang greeting.
Är det bra?
It's kind of like howdy or something. It's like a common Swedish expression to say as you come across someone. Say hello there, kind of like tjena. And then so stop a little bit. And here you can see his necklace badge and some card here. But when he was exiting the vehicle, I couldn't see the necklace badge, nor could I see the card. I couldn't see the necklace badge or the card as he exited the vehicle. So I believe that they try to take me out here.
Jag är live på min YouTube-kanal bara så du vet.
Okej, händer det på 100?
And I said, I'm live on my YouTube channel, just so you know. And I said, can you turn it off so we can talk?
Så vi kan prata.
Can you turn it off so we can talk? Or like put it away so we can talk?
Ett ögonblick.
And I said, yeah, a moment. And I'm a little bit flabbergasted, like dumbfounded and taken back by the whole thing. So it's like from kind of looking like I might be attacked here. And to like now it's like, oh, it's the cops. Like they're being kind. Okay, it's the cops. And so I'm a little bit stressed and kind of flabbergasted here a little bit.
I just got stopped by police.
Taking it back.
Hej, vad heter du?
And he said, hi, what's your name? And I think he already knows. I believe I could have been sent here by the superiors, and they know about gangstalking. They already know about Tony Vito. They don't know that they're doing this because they pretty much like hit me and got sent to take me out. Just as this happened before, where I used to have raging PTSD, and I'm out exercise late at night, and the gangstalking program works to crazy make me with harassment, and stalking and like have cars behind with loud engines as I'm jogging. And then all the cops show up and be like, we'll take you to the cycle, you're crazy. So it's like I'm outside exercising. Back when I used to be more excited and PTs in the våg outside. I go for like I would walk outside in the daytime because more people there have anxiety panic attacks. So I wait to exercise and go outside until it's dark and take night walks and exercise at night and stuff. And one of those times I go outside jogging and they like ramping up to target me. I called crazy making and these other people that used the terminology. There's a point where it's like they were really doing a lot to make me feel like to stress me out. Okay, to trigger me. And they had like a neighborhood watch car as I drove through the neighborhood with a loud rumbling engine and like a light will go on it that like gets up behind me as I'm jogging and then like stays behind me with like the lights on and loud engine. And I'm looking back and he doesn't like overtake me or stop or park. He just like stays behind me with this car, which looks to me like the gang stalker. I actually believe was a gang stalker. And working to like stress me out. And it's like I pick up pace and stuff and whatever. It gets to a point where suddenly a cop car shows up and they go, oh, we think you're crazy taking you to the cycle. That's what the coordinates were. Okay. And at that point, I did have a knife in my purse, so they took it off me. Okay. And I had a notebook possibly with Bible verses about being persecuted on it. Like Psalms, possibly. I don't remember exactly, but something like that. And it's like the cops come, and I'm not saying anything crazy, but it's like they look at the notebook and they might get the knife. I would think you got delusions of persecution for further simony. We believe you got delusions of persecution and when you come with us and took the cycle. So I do believe that could have been another time where me being taught of Swedish state persecution called gangstalking. So like send these cops, your job is to go look for this guy and find him, and other people that work for the same program, gangstalking program, work to stress him out right now, to get him worked up and appear more crazy, and work to drive him crazy, push him over the edge. So your job is to find the guy and then go your nuts and take him off the cycle.
Jag misstänkt på något brott.
Nej, jag vill bara
Okay, so he says, what's your name? I said, am I suspected of a crime? And he said, no. So he said, no.
veta. Du betedde
I just want to know who you are.
dig lite märkligt i affären.
Because you were acting a little bit suspicious in the store. He said. So the store I had been in before that was the corner store. Where every time I go there, I'm being harassed by gang stalkers. That a lot of them, that is going to be gang stalkers in that corner store as I arrive already. 9 or 10 times. Is that as I arrive, there is gang stalkers in there. Work for the gang stalking program. And if I stay in there long enough, there's going to be people come through the door that are gang stalkers there. And I'm being told about sudden harassment in there. So notice, I'm the told of criminal harassment in Sweden. And being autistic and harassed for years. It's like if I get stressed at work, it's like you're the problem. Say. You were behaving strangely. You know what I think is strange? People harassing people by secret agents for a program. And then notice it's like your reaction to the abuse dog. See? So notice how the cop is not in there arresting the people that were causing me to behave strangely by being stressed. Like I can't leave my home without being harassed every time and stalked by the same persecution program. He didn't go and like arrest those people. No, he's like, oh, you were acting strangely in the corner store.
Vad tyckte du då?
Ja, jag gick och filmade och höll på med det.
And I asked him, how so? Okay. I mean, he said, you were behaving strange inside the store. And I said, how so? And while you walk around filming and stuff.
Ska vi veta vem det är?
We want to know who you are. Now, after I asked him before I was convicted of a crime, he clearly answered in the negative and said no. But he did say that I have been acting strangely in the store. And I guess that's why he thinks it's okay to approach him like this and demand ID.
Jaha, okej. Är det olagligt att filma på allmän plats eller?
Nej, jag
And then I ask him, is it illegal to film in a public place?
vill ändå veta vem det är.
And I said, I just want to know, but I still want to know who you are. Now, in the same store I was being recorded by the store, they have cameras, at least 3 cameras. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 cameras or more in that store. Okay.
Ja, är jag lagligt skyldig att visa legitimation?
And then I asked to confirm. It's like, am I legally obliged to produce identification at this moment in time? And pretty much. And he goes,
Va?
Ja, det.
and he says, yes, you are. Okay. So this is also part of police interactions where police officers in America or Sweden is a general thing. A lot of times they will try to have their personal they'd like to have their personal will happen, and their personal will is not always line up with the law. So it's like they might be like they want to check your trunk, but they don't have probable cause to tell you have to open your trunk right now. So they might go, why don't you go ahead and pop up your trunk for me? I'd like to see what's in your trunk. They might approach your car like, I'd like to see, take a look in your trunk, sir. And some people might feel like the cop is telling them, and be like they feel like it. Like, do you understand? That is like that they're legally obliged to pop the trunk because the cop said he'd like to take a look. Now, if he goes, I'd like to take a look, and you go, are you forcing me to? And he goes, yes. If you don't open the trunk, I'll break in it and I'll put it in cap. Okay, I open the trunk then. Okay. But if it's just like I'd like to see, it's not like you are hereby under arrest. Okay, open the trunk and give me the keys to your car. Like, would you mind opening? I'd like to take a look. So sometimes police will ask a citizen to do things that they don't have the authority, the right to tell you to do. Like, want to turn that off. If they approach a citizen who's live streaming, it's like, hey, I'm live with YouTube right now, and they want to turn it off. And I go, it's not illegal to live stream. And I go, yeah, okay. See, but they tried to if it would work to be, I want to turn it off. And I guess because sometimes when they interact with people, they're cops and they some people that are filming whatever the cops are doing, and they go, hey, turn it off, guys. And then sometimes it works. There's like the cop told me to turn off my recording, and they feel like they by law like they have to do the might get arrested and stuff like this. See. So I'm looking to determine if it's like it's a legal order backed by law, a command, you have to do it. Okay. Or if it's just that he's trying to get me to agree to something that I'm not obliged by law to agree to. Like the first thing, see? Because he's already trying to tell me to do something that doesn't have the legal right to tell me to do. Like, why don't you turn it off? Turn it off so we can talk. And I go, it's not illegal. And he goes, no, it's not. So, but he tried to get me to turn it off by telling me to. Asking. So it's like now I'm like, this thing is telling me he'd like to see my ID card. Is it the same thing? Do you understand? So it's like work to determine, am I legally obliged, like I have to do it? Or be arrested or something for this? Or is it just a thing where it goes, I'd like to see it? And I go, well, I'm not going to do it. Do you understand? There can be some cases where I ask you to do something that you don't have to do by law. So I'm just looking to figure out if it's the same thing when they ask me to turn off the live stream when it's asking to see my ID, or if it's like a lawful command, like a legal order. Understand?
Okej, kan du visa mig ditt lägg då?
And I do believe that police are legally obliged to produce identification if you as a citizen demand it. And especially in a situation like this, is more clearly important. Because these guys are dressed like average Joes. There's a tinted window car. And it's like, at this point, I'll be well excused to be like, I don't believe, I wasn't sure these people are actual cops at this point. Because like, all I've seen from a distance is a badge and like a business card at a distance at his belt. So do you understand? It's like, it doesn't look like something being possible to forge. I would be surprised to sell badge like that on eBay for like $30 for a Swedish police badge imitation or something like this that at a distance could pass for a real one possibly. Okay, I'm not like a forgery expert that has trained myself to be able to know what a real police badge looks like and what a false one looks like, something like this. So I asked, I'd like to see your ID card, and I'm pretty sure that they have to, upon request, let you know something. That if that's like their badge number or show the badge type of thing, they have to show you something.
Niklas.
Niklas Karl Göte, instruktör.
Then part of what they have on their the business idea, like the badge, is their rank or title. So there's aspirant, inspector, and then they have different titles and stuff. So this guy was this type of cop.
Okej. Det är lite irriterande tycker jag.
Varför då?
And I said this is a little bit irritating, and it's like I in hindsight, I can tell I was like I was tense and anxious and nervous at this point.
Show likes in the video.
Yeah, so okay, let's jump to the actual video created from @MikeSaha89. So let's play it
Bara,
wider angle here.
there's been times where I upload a video and several people I know well have told me they liked the video. They watched it, they liked it, and
Now notice it's like it's really few people out and about. So I don't remember
like.
if it was like Sunday morning or something. But it's rarely non-crowd outside. There's no cars on the road. There's no civilians out walking, which could also fit, meaning that doesn't contradict what I said. That like hypothetically, this was the gang stalking pro sending these cops to try to create a circumstance where they could take me out and go daylight shoot me and get rid of the target video whistleblower. He's getting the word about government corruption, government gang stalking. Hypothetically, because the same program, every time I'm out in public, they send people to follow me, and it's like synchronized, highly organized harassment. Somebody comes over here to walk past me as I walk up this hill, and they're wearing a certain T-shirt with a certain symbol that they've used as a scheme of harassment. This is like how most things normally happen. Like you're walking here, it's like there's going to be somebody that gets sent to walk the same route on the and like walk past you and say something in passing, a fake phone call. There's a trigger word, or walk past with a T-shirt that has a symbol on it. The point has been used as like a theme in the targeting, using a visual theme. And it's that constantly people that you are encountering out in public. There are gang stalkers, so-called flying monkeys. And it was like rare how few people were there. So possibly that would actually line up with that. It wouldn't contradict what I'm saying, like the hypothesis, my theory that this was them wanting to try to take me out. Because if these people are working for the gang stalking program, which I say that the cops are involved in, they could also have the same gang stalking program, not send people to be around me right now because they're planning to shoot me. And they want it easy. They don't want other people hit. See? It's like they have a house wall here with no windows in level with my body. It's like the windows would be kind of up here, the first two windows, or like even higher. It's like basement windows nobody lives in. They're at that foot level, like here and there. Okay. And there's no cars. It's like if it be like I run here as they're shooting at me, there's no people there. There's nobody walk on the sidewalk. There's no cars. So it looks like spooked enough as if they had kind of orchestrated this to be where it's easy for them to shoot me and not end up risking hitting somebody else. Which is not necessarily because they're good people, but it can become problematic and bad PR for the police department if like an innocent bystander gets hit when they're shooting any person.
And then when I checked, I had 0 likes in the video. This was in the beginning when I didn't have that.
$32.20.
This was in the beginning.
Yeah, so no, looks like I'm not lying to you. I told her my memory was that I couldn't see a badge or anything indicating he's a cop as he opened the door, and that his arm was covering at the moment that I see him, like his necklace badge. That later on, as like he's not having his arm, then he's standing still, I can see this necklace badge. But I told her at the moment he exits the vehicle, you can't see that because he's got his arm there, and that's what you're seeing here. See? And what he's doing here, it can give the impression that he's drawing a weapon in the process of drawing a weapon or holding a weapon. And no matter what, he's covering his necklace badge at the critical moment as he's approaching me. So, see? So, tinted when a car pulls up, does this look like it's cops coming to talk to you right now? Or does it look like possibly it's like there's people pulling up or looking for where you are? They saw where you are, stop exactly next to you. Two guys jump out of car coming towards you. It's like, look, do you understand? It looks more like you're about to be attacked by people who are not cops than it looks like you're being approached by the cops. So, just strictly theoretical, I would be surprised if they if they thought that I was covered carrying a knife or something like this at this point, and that they were hoping I would pull it on them. Thinking that it's criminal, somebody's pulling up on me to come get me, and hoping I had a knife or something on me, and that I would like pull it, thinking that I'm being pulled up on by like criminals or whoever, somebody coming to attack me, so they can pull the guns and shoot me and be like, oh, we had no choice but to shoot him. We were too close. That's what I suspect. But that's like a hypothetical. There's no knives coming out.
Jag misstänkt på något brott.
Nej, jag vill bara veta.
Yeah, so gotta play the dialogue.
Hej, vad heter du?
Jag misstänkt på något brott.
Nej, jag vill bara veta. Du betedde lite märkligt i affären.
Hur tyckte du?
Okay, so oops, I was a screenshot. Yeah, so let us run back here and
Hej, vad heter du?
so yeah, they came out. Hey, what's your name? He said.
This was in the beginning when I didn't have that many. Tjena, är det bra? Jag är live på min YouTube-kanal bara så du vet.
Ja, okej. Kan du lägga ifrån dig då så vi kan prata?
Ja, ett ögonblick. I just got stopped by police here.
Ja, jag gick och filmade och höll på med det. Ja, jag gick och filmade. Hej, vad heter du?
Jag misstänkt på något.
I said, hey, what's your name? I said, am I suspected of a crime?
Brott?
Nej, jag vill bara veta.
I said, no, I just want to know who you are.
Du betedde lite märkligt i affären.
I said, you behaved a little bit strangely in the store.
Hur tyckte du då?
And I said, how so?
Ja, jag gick och filmade och höll på med det.
While you were walking around filming and stuff.
Jag vill veta vem det är.
So we would like to know who you are.
Jaha, okej. Är det olagligt att filma på allmän plats eller?
And I said, okay, is it illegal to film in a public place? And I'm repositioning slightly because I was feeling uncomfortable.
Nej, jag vill ändå veta vem det är.
Ja, jag är lagligt skyldig att visa legitimation.
They're asking, am I legally obliged to produce identification?
Va?
Ja, där.
And I said, yes, you are. And he started to sound really aggressive. But the subtle thing is, I feel like he's like, oh, now I'm being dominant. It's like, yeah, you are. Okay, kind of, some kind of thing. Imagine how surprised this guy would be at this range if I would have asked him, like, hey, you punk, what would you say? It's all stuff like this. I just like, imagine if I would have played my cards differently at this moment. Be interesting to see how it would pan out. If I would respond to aggression in kind here. Interesting to see how it would pan out for. If I would have decided, hypothetical scenario, to get a bit aggressive at this moment, at this distance, it'd be really interesting. Okay, but he's acting like real self-assured at this moment.
Okej, kan du
I ended up being right because there was no real aggression happening.
visa mig ditt läge då?
But he's like close enough for me to put my hand on his shoulder pretty much at this moment. Now, obviously, I wasn't having a knife in my pocket at this moment. And able to pull him a second and slide into his neck or some crazy shit. It's like, that's not the type of person I am. But it's like, imagine if I was that type of guy and he's treated him like this. It's like his behavior is provocative, every kind of way. So imagine if it wasn't me, like a guy who's just, I'm minding my business, I'm live streaming around. So imagine if like the guy who looks like me and everything else, if he was some like bad guy, dangerous guy who had like a knife in every pocket, like they said. It's like, you understand, it's like his behavior is very provocative. So going from like acting in a way that makes a person think that it's not cops pulling up them, then and it's like, oh, his people come to attack me pretty much. Now it's like, okay, it's a cop, so now let's switch to being like a asshole cop all of a sudden, pretty much.
Niklas.
Niklas Karl Göte, inspektör. Okej.
Niklas Karl Göte, inspektör.
Det är lite irriterande tycker jag.
It's a little bit irritating alltså.
Det känns kränkande.
And I said it feels humiliating, or it feels, how do you translate the word kränkande to English? It feels violating, or okay, like it kind of feel violated. I feel violated, or yeah, humiliated, kränkande. Kränkande, Swedish word. You could use it to communicate something. It's humiliating, or violating. You feel violated somehow.
Kan jag tända en cigg eller?
Jag kan tända en.
And I asked if I could light a cigarette. Okay. Which is kind of like rather stuff. If you're a smoker and you get stressed, you will likely feel like lighting up a cigarette. Okay.
Kan du berätta ditt personnummer för mig? Så kan jag...
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is it's good for the both of us that it's like I wasn't like armed and like looking to hurt him. And it's good for me that they didn't pull the guns and start shooting me and just make up a story that I had been doing something I wasn't. Because that you deal with people like this, you never know. Now I would say this. It would be a bad thing to do if it would be somebody else and maybe the same thing to him might be hurt.
Gå in där i min telefon så jag vet vem.
Jag livestreamar alltid när jag är ute. Jag har YouTube-kanal. Jag bloggar heter det.
Tror jag pratat med
Så går jag ut så filmar jag. Alltså alltid.
Jag tror jag pratat med dig förut. Jag kommer inte ihåg vad det heter.
Nej, jag tror inte jag pratat med det.
And I said, I think I talked to you before, but I don't remember what your name is.
Känner inte igen det.
Nej.
Jag brukar minnas ansikten ganska så bra.
Okej, ditt personnummer då?
Ja,
Most likely they're gonna have. And I thought about this. I'm not expert in that, but they most likely have vests on them under the shirts. Okay, so that is not a bold guess. That they have body armor, and they also have their covert carrying, like concealed carrying, their service weapons, which at this point in time might be the SAHA before they switch to the Glock. And possibly, I don't know if they have it in like a shoulder holster or appendix carry, if they have like a special holster that goes inside the pant line and you just have to pull the shirt up and it's there. But I'm assuming that they have weapons on them on their shirts and vests.
Men som sagt, så du säger att jag är lagligt skyldig att göra det?
And I asked him, so you're saying I'm legally obliged to give it to you? The identification says yes.
Okej, 89.
And I started listing off my social security number. And I think I didn't have my ID card on me, and I asked, can I just give you my details? And you can like pull it up.
Säger min Strömberg. Smart.
Yeah, so this is the individual versus tyranny. This is what it can look like. This is an individual versus tyranny. And practice of the state. That approached here, and the reason that I'm feeling a bit annoyed here, and think about hypothetical scenarios was like, what if it was a different type of person pulled up? I think if a person was armed covertly and wanted to hurt this guy, they could have hurt him. So it's like he should be thankful that it was me who pulled over in this way, because I think there's some other people who put up on the same way they pulled up. If they would have had a weapon on them, they might have pulled it on them. I'm not joking. I mean, there's some people that if you would approach them like this and they had a weapon on, they would have pulled it. Now, I'm not saying I was carrying a weapon at this point, and I almost didn't pull anything. No, but there's some basically this. It's very risky to approach anybody like this. This is the individual versus tyranny. And I'm telling you, I believe that these people, I feel, man, these are people that are my potential murderers, is how I look at them. Meaning, it's like in hindsight. So these guys is like, yeah, they were hit me, they were sent to murder me. They were sent here to try to get me murdered. And these are the guys I'm looking at this video, that I believe personally. Remember, I told you, I believe this was the Gangstalked persecution program, government Gangstalked program. The plan is to have them pull up on me and try to provoke a reaction that would justify them shooting me. And if I'm right, which I believe I am, that means that I'm like, as I'm playing back this footage and thinking about it, it's like, yeah, these are people that came with the intention and prepared to take me out, and like as agents, but they're gonna come here and murder me. And it's like, we're gonna approach like this, if and when he does this, you pull your guns and shoot him on the spot. So I'm looking at my would-be murderers here, is how I feel as I'm looking at this video. Okay. But it because I didn't feed him with the reaction that they was the trigger for them pulling guns and shooting me, it never got to that point. See?
Så, bort med det.
Vad sa du? Så, jo, men det är lite all kinds of stuff. I just got stuff.
Bra, Mikael. Du, vi ska lämna dig i fred.
Ja, tack för det. Ja, jag håller inte på något olagligt. Jag ska bara ner och handla, vet du. Jag har YouTube-kanal och...
Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's look at the lead up to that. Let's look at the lead up to that experience.
Not completely does, but... If you're in a really loud room, it's gonna be difficult.
And I've really improved. I can tell, like contrasting to my old videos. Growing. Where I have autism, social anxiety, I've been suffering CPTSD, all kinds of issues. I don't have to get into it, but I'm a total video. And I can tell that my old videos, like the baseline was being tense and anxious and nervous on camera. and I can tell just by my body language. I can just sense there's like, yeah, that's me being like tense and anxious and nervous, and that was like the baseline at some point in time. And now a lot of times I'm calm and relaxed despite being out in public. But back here, it would be like I'm constantly on edge and like tense and nervous. No, while I should a lot of times, and while being out in public.
Siis extrema i...
And this is before I invested in a Kevlar-lined shirt to be better stopping me from dark and projectiles. And I don't go out in public dressed this light anymore. After the dark and hit the white line, it's like I'm gonna have more layers typically. But here I was wearing, I don't know how many days on top, but the top day was a Miltech hood, I remember. Before I found the one that has a layer of Kevlar in it, which is embedded stopping dart guns. Now it's not a ballistic Kevlar, it's not enough layers to stop like normal bullets, but a CA dart gun, it could make a difference. Yeah, so this is me approaching the corner store. And it was in this corner store I got shot in the leg with a dart gun. And I have lasting damage. And I suspect that was a failed assassination attempt. I got shot in the right leg in this corner store with a dart gun. And that's the right knee. And right now, as I sit here, I still have not spot my right leg from that. And these sick little freaks, cult members, it's like the shield class that work for the deep state psychopaths. And the shield classes that talk me for the program, so yeah, that's what you get, you deserve it. It's like, oh yeah, really? Okay. I have been convicted of any crime worthy of death. I haven't been tried and found guilty of being a pedo or a serial killer, or I'm not on the Epstein Island flight law. But you feel so comfortable, like being like, oh yeah, Mike, you deserve what's happening to you. A lot of you. Now notice how I've been saying that the government doesn't want the word about Gangstalked to get out by quoting Chuck Langenberg, who was also a whistleblower before he died. And what am I doing in this live stream? There's a heavy emphasis on getting the word about Gangstalking, like graphics. Former head of the Central FBI take guns and confirm Gangstalking is real. In the description of that video, I had links. I'm pretty sure I had links. Now it's been edited. Yeah, I had the link to Chuck Langenberg's website, sites.google.com, site exposed Gangstalking. So in this IRL stream, I was doing about getting word about Gangstalking in Sweden. And the government cops kind of act as if they want interference on that. See? It's like calling me not being crazy, but like, yeah, I'm not talking about gang stalking. Cops are involved. They don't want the word about this to get out. What am I doing in the stream? Getting the word about gang stalking. And the Swedish state police show up, and this is a stressful event that could have been fatal, had a fatal outcome. Possibly they had decided to end up having a fatal outcome. And the same thing has happened other times. I'm doing an stream getting the word about gang stalking. Oh, the cops show up and create a stressful circumstance. It looks like they want interference on the activity. Now, these type of things work to create aversion. Manipulation doesn't work on me. It's like Mike is doing something we don't like, open conditional, whatever it's called, Pavlovian. It's like Mike is doing something we don't like him doing. Make him stressed to try to manipulate him to be like, oh, yeah, this like kind of subconsciously stop doing the thing because it's like, yeah, I do this, it creates stressful situations.
A lot of people in here right now. Black seems to be trending bullets right now. It's crowded. I've been shopping here for many years. There's a lot of people, right? So my time was bad. It's a huge line. The line goes
Yeah, so basically, I'm noting that it's a lot of people that are on the store right now.
all the way from here. Alltså, hur mycket pengar?
So anytime there's gonna be some of these people are gonna be some of the people that show up in these corner store are gonna be gangstalking perps.
Seems to be a trend. And like a minefield. Bottle openers. I do pay line. To be live.
And let's see what happened after this. So we looked at before, looked at after. Yeah, let's look at another clip of police interactions. Yeah, so I'm a persecuted Christian individual, and I've been taught for more than a decade with Gangstalked individuals. And I've had several attempts at my life, and I got put in the psych ward because I've been visible about being taught with this disgusting Stasi persecution program, and the cops are like the jackbooted Stasi Gestapo thugs, basically. That's what it looks like to me. They act like that. I'm a part of a secret state persecution program, and the cops are doing a big part of dirty work. Let's see if I can find another video. Yeah, let's look at this.
And then when I checked, I had zero.
This is the same time. This is the same moment just like that. It's another live stream. I was streaming it about Gangstalked videos. And I'm going downtown. And I could just cop car shows up. I don't know. A cop car shows up, and then as if they were looking for me. And outside walking, they show up. Let's watch the stream from the beginning. People that work for this program, they're Stasi, they're part of a cult. They're disgusting freak cult members. There's like a global network of these stalking murder cults. It's like almost like the Nazis in World War II. Only the Nazis are having to be covert and not in public at this point. It's like behind the scenes, like, yeah, we're part of the program, work to poison and harass and murder people. But it has to be kept secret. So I don't like tyrants and their flying monkeys, just like the funny forest did.
The lights on, and that made a difference. So make I think I'm gonna go to
Okay, yeah, so I went to the ICA supermarket and then I went towards, I guess I was going to go to the Asia buffet restaurant or
police car going there.
market.
You might come up and talk to me, we'll see.
They create excuses for the filming me because they're saying that I got sunglasses and gloves and I'm filming, none of which are legal. But other people that I see in public with sunglasses, filming on camera, holding the phones, talking video calls, whatever they do, walking home, talking to the phones, wearing this, that, the other thing, a hijab, a turban, a hoodie, sunglasses, camo knot. It's like I don't see other people being put on like that.
Kränkande menar du?
Ja, jag tar.
And that's what the Swedish police car looks like.
Here goes. Va? Vill ni prata med mig eller? Jaha.
But they pass me, and it's rare to see a police car if you're not me in the city. Kinda. I mean, I don't live in New York, so it's a small Swedish town. And how often I encounter police on outside it is, it's strange.
Ja, jag väntar tills han har gått. Och byrå. Jag livestreamar till min YouTube-kanal så ni...
I'm livestreaming my YouTube channel.
Ja.
Stäng av den där nu, prata lite.
And they said, turn it off so we can talk a little bit. I don't know if there's a border cam on his radio.
Nej, det är inte olagligt
But I have started cam border cams. I said, it's not illegal.
att filma fram med plats.
Nej, absolut
It's
inte.
not illegal to film in a public place. Now, this might actually be a border cam. So, they might have been just around time to start rolling out. I don't know actually if every cop now has a border cam or if it's 50% of cops have one or if it's every third or something like this. But they looked like he could actually have a border cam. And they like to roll things out incremental. It was like maybe first 1 in 20 people. Maybe it's like in only in Stockholm some cops had tasers. And now there's more of them having tasers. So that has the roll things out incremental, experimental basis. But I think this might be a border camera. And streamed 4 years ago. July 1, 2021. Streamed live on July 1, 2021. And this guy always doesn't have a body cam, at least not here. And that looks like it's a radio.
Men har du något idé?
I don't know what this white line was pants if he was snorting coke in the police car before. Then if he had like doing cocaine or meth or something like this in the cop car with his body then before they stepped out or something. I don't know. But it's like I think he's dressed strangely. I think it's kind of strange. He's got a white line on his pant pocket. Has he had drugs on it? Were you doing drugs in that car with your friend before you came to talk to me? I think your behavior is strange. Are you on drugs or are you on drugs? Looks like he might be on drugs. He's acting strange to me. He's dressed differently. Then he's got like a weird white line on his pants. Was he sitting there snorting coke and some fell on his pant or what's the situation here? Okay.
Eller?
Fattar du?
I don't know. I'm being facetious, but you can see there's like a white line here. I don't know what that is. No, if it's not cocaine, he was stored in the car before he stepped outside. It could be possibly he has the baton on adjustable. I've seen that before. Where they have like a thing where you can adjust it, so you can have the baton. There's like clip on or something like this in a holster, where I think they can rotate it, so you can have it like this or like these different positions. So it could be that as he's patrolling, sometimes he has it straight down and it rubs against his pants and become a weird tear. Like here, see this baton, possibly if you can turn, rub against the palm.
Det har jag.
Ja.
Är jag misstänkt för något brott eller?
Ja, det vet jag inte riktigt. Jag känner inte
Du går
det.
över här så vi inte står mitt i vägen.
Har man
And I asked him if I'm suspected of crime. He said, I don't know.
skyldighet enligt svensk lag att visa legitimation?
I asked him, according to law, am I legal obliged to produce an identification? Because he started asking my ID. So, as usual, the first thing he asked me to do is to turn off the camera. So we want to turn it off. I go, I'm live on YouTube right now, so I'm reporting them. Because they hailed me. Okay. Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. And I go, okay, I want to turn it off so we can talk. And I go, it's not legal to film. And they go, yeah, okay, you're right. And then, kind of, so at least I go, I don't care. We turn it off. We're going to tell you, but whatever, it'll be worse. So that's the point.
vid begärelse?
Nej.
Om man
de är
inte är misstänkt för något brott.
Okay, so at least he concedes to my point that it's like, you don't have, according to my knowledge, unless you're suspected of a crime in Sweden, you don't have to, if your cops ask you if I'd like to see your ID, you don't have to by law give it to them or something. So yeah, okay, so at least he conceded to that. But then like he didn't go, I want to see it, so I'm going to get something like this. Now the previous interaction, they told me I'm not, nice point, I'm not an expert in law, but I remember seeing Advokat Masse, this is a Swedish lawyer, defense attorney, that has a YouTube channel. And he makes Instagram videos and YouTube videos where he kind of teaches on Swedish law and makes commentary on Swedish law. Okay? So he's a YouTuber and Instagram, and he makes videos talk about law. And it's like what's legal, what's not, and new law changes in Sweden coming up, and joking. Okay. And I remember seeing one of his videos where it's like for the cops to legally be able to get an ID off for you, they had to be able to provide a clear reason for why they're demanding it from you. Meaning, either you're suspected of a crime, then they can force you. You have to identify yourself if like you're being arrested for something. Or they had to give you some kind of clear reason for why. It's like, for example, we're looking for an escaped convict and you match his description or something like that, I guess. And we need to make sure that you're not him or something like this. It's like they understand they have to be able to give you a clear reason for why you need to ID yourself. And not like just because I'd like to see it. Okay. That shouldn't be enough. Now, it could have changed since then, I'm not sure.
Nej.
I still would ask today again if the cop goes, I'd like to see ID, and I go, am I legal obliged to do it? Because I'm not going to easily give over my idea and let people violate my rights. I'm not going to try to make it easy for people to act against my rights.
Nej, det hade jag trodde också.
Ja. Varför vill du inte visa det?
Now his attitude is going to get changed pretty soon. It's going to get a bit sour.
Det är om jag inte är misstänkt för något brott. Det är väl lagar finns av en anledning. Jag kan känna att det är lite kränkande att
I said, if I'm not suspected of a crime, the reason I don't want to show that law that you don't have to give it is probably there for a reason.
Kränkande menar du?
Ja, alltså att folk som samtal vill rasera dina legitimation av inte har gjort något.
Ja, okej.
Ja. Det är så det var i Nazityskland, du vet.
I said, that's how it was in Nazi Germany, where they have people there, like cops, go and like, show me your papers, citizen. And just like demand your papers all the time. They have to show you papers. I told them, yeah, I don't like this. Like, I had to explain that it's like I don't like these cops showing up where I am. I'm not breaking the law. I'm exercising my legal rights. Nothing I'm doing is illegal. But my experience is I can't be in legally doing what I'm doing without the cops showing up and harassing me, making me arrest. And so I would want to see a ID card and turn off your live stream and things like this. So it's like whatever.
De stannade
Ja, du
och
tänker
får vi
så.
se dina papper ungefär.
Ja, okej.
Jag gillar inte det där.
Ja,
Det
vi
finns
var ju
ingen-
jättenyfikna när vi körde förbi det.
Ja.
Vi har ju kamouflage militärbyxor på,
Ja.
det är luvan uppdragen.
Ja, jag har
Was like, well, you got camel pants on. We got curious or something like you got camel pants on you, and yada yada. So it's like if it's kind of like they pull over a black guy who drives an expensive car. So it's not like we pull over for driving while black or something like this racial profile because you're like a minority that we're talking or something like this. No, it's like, oh, but because somebody said they saw you take a turn without signaling, or you were driving right, or it looked like your left tire was semi-inflated, but it's like we can see that it looks normal. This is whatever. It's just justifying they work to justify the fact that they pull me over and okay, because I'm communicating that I think that it's kind of strange what's happening.
autism, vet du.
Okej,
Jag har ljud- och ljudkänslighet. Så
okej.
ofta när jag är ute så har jag på mig hörselkåpor.
And I explained it. Now this I pull over for being autistic in public, but I told them the reason I'm wearing sunglasses and earplugs and stuff is because I'm autistic. I have sensitivities. Not they're fully aware of that and have been using that to try to trigger me, I believe. Okay. Where's that? I'm not joking.
Eller öronproppar. Lite grann är väl under
I don't care. I'm a Christian. This suburban ways on me. So no, come on. It's like, does it look? It's like, oh, we need to. It is a fake TI too. There was another one of these people that was giving off hope from the hell so that this VM. That for a while I was letting him be a person, and it's like, I know he's an agent. At some point, it's like, yeah, he's an agent. And then become more clear, and eventually I blocked him. A crazy talking. He was a crazy talking fake TI. Talk about the UAV weapons and drones and working to. And I have since made a video on him, and I call him out. He's exposed as a crazy talking fake. Now I support. So this is what I was looking like as I was walking around. Okay. I just have a hoodie, sunglasses, and headphones. Okay. And holding a phone. So I guess it's like, if it's like the process is the punishment kind of thing. It's like, oh, but it's not illegal for you to be an individual with individual preferences and style. But it's still, it's like, we're gonna harass you and create stressful circumstances for you and hold up your time, steal your time and hold up and we'll be tell you that the reason we approach you is how you're dressed, okay? See. But I don't see them pulling over Muslim women to walk around in Sweden with hijabs. It looks like a bank robber who they only with a dress sold on to kind of. They'd be like, well, we can't see your eyes and you're wearing what the prison. I don't see that. I don't see. I'm not saying they should. I don't see. I see people all the time with camel jacket and pants at the same time. I see guys that have like blue mohawks and I don't know, like leather jackets with like studs on it because they're punk rocker type of person. What is they're punk? It is a punk. It's stuff called punk. I see all kinds of, but I don't never see them pull over by the cops. But it's like, yeah, you're dressed as someone that's put over.
And I told him I got all
And say, I don't give a shit. I gotta keep dressing just exactly how the fuck I want to do. I gotta keep dressing exactly how I want. Exactly how I want. I gotta keep dressing exactly how the fuck I want. Jag kommer fortsätta klä mig precis som jag vill klä mig. Exakt så som jag vill klä mig. And yeah, I'm a Christian being taught with gangstalking, which means I'm in a war. And on top of like some things I might wear just because of the autism sensitivities, like sunglasses, earpods, I probably wear them even if I wasn't taught in video. Now, being a taught in video, yeah, I overdress. I wear clothes to protect my body from dart guns and chem sprays, which I've been attacked with before. Okay. And but I'm not going to change on that. I'm not going to change on that. So, you have witnessed what I believe to be an early in the stream about an assassination attempt by Swedish cops. And I get told by shelf lancers to be told, quite a lot of them. And to see how long it takes to attempt proven right, then it'd be like, yeah, more people are waking up to the fact that a lot of these YouTubers and podcasts are deep state shells and have been for years. Like I've been saying for years that they are. They might be. All these things where Mike says it for years and years, and then people slowly start coming to, and it catches on. And it's like a lot of people, like, yeah, a lot of podcasters and YouTubers are sales. Okay. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan. These people.
Uploading a workout video every
So, I'm a total gang stalker, which means people are recruited to target me. I'm gonna drop some links in the chat. One link I'm gonna drop in the chat is to late T.I. Chuck Langenberg's website. He was a tornado as I am, worked to get the word about gang stalking until he was murdered. That's what I believe happened to him. Official records don't say that he was murdered, but I believe he was murdered by the poor. Rambo. Oh, there you go. This is a link to Chuck Langenberg's website on the Wayback Machine. Yeah. Be not deceived, God is above. For some men soul that will also weep. I wouldn't be surprised if, in God's providence, he let the Swedish cops come under fire not long ago. Maybe even because I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God. You reap what you sow. And I believe that the cops were trying to get me shot with weapons that day. And I read in the news, and it's not that everything's about me, but it's like I like to think that some of the things that happen to organizations like the state that has been destroying my life could be because it doesn't matter who you do it. If you're a corrupt state that are doing X to citizens, plural or singular, don't be surprised if you reap what you sow. So anyway, here's the point. I'm not celebrating it, but I saw a news story where there was a guy who had a heavy body armor and like an assault rifle. He stationed ambush, and the cops came and he shot at him. Now nobody died, nobody got hurt. So if that was real, I won't be surprised if it's like they reap what they sow. It's like Swedish police department being guilty of trying to get citizens shot that are being persecuted Christians, and they get shot. Now, it could also be like a similar Messiah, but it's proven otherwise. So, anyways, the point, I'm not going to comment on that, but here's the point. I have pursued with the cops, but it's like basically I deal with tyranny and how I deal with it. I mean, it's how I deal with it is to speak out about it. That's a big part I deal with it. Pray to God and stuff. I start to have some allergies. I'm gonna have to go rinse my face and have some vitamin C water. Got an itch. So anything else? Yes, I want to say this. If I end up institutionalized and dying, they took me out. I don't care what they tell you. They could, if they take me out, make it look like a suicide. They took me out. I wouldn't have undone myself. If they tell I had an accident, natural health causes, there's so many ways they could try to take me out. Now, I've been remaining alive, thanks to God, and hope will stay that way. So, I'll be right back. Let's see what else we have. So, well, I'm not talking of Gangstalk, I've been talking about a decade. Gangstalk is a government program, and there's no knowns, unknowns, and known unknowns, and all kinds of unknowns. So, I don't know every in and out about the target from the outside. You might be surprised that I don't know everything. The reason I don't know everything at all times there is to know is because I'm not God. So that's unique to God, knowing everything at all times. So, unfortunately, I have to admit that I don't know everything there is to know at all times. Now, maybe there's some details that I don't know at this point in time. It's like, is there a government agency that is right now secretly involved in gang stalking? And it's, I don't know if it's like SAHA or something like this. This which is a police agency, like special police, quote unquote, that have a program called something, and that's who runs the gang stalking in part or something like this. I don't know, but I do know that the government participates in gang stalking. I've seen in the fake TI community, and it's more accurate to describe the online community of tolerant videos, so-called, as the fake TI community. Because it's more fake tolerant videos. It's like a clown show. If I go to Facebook and look at search tolerant video, and you find the support groups, tolerant videos worldwide, or tolerant video support group, it's like it's a viper's den, a snake pit of fake tolerant video counterintelligence agents that work to cover up gang stalking in groups that are pretending to be helping TIs. Or it's like some of them, it's like 80% of posts are people talk about brain chip implants and brain reading satellites and things like this, and kind of spamming that crazy talk, which is, I don't know what to count this up to. But that's a big part of the cover up. They have fake TI crazy talk that's active online. And some of the agents work to minimize it. That's another angle. Oh yeah, gang stalk is just harassment, and it could lead to depression. No, it's a war. I've been talking about chemical warfare, I've been posted, I've been shown that by the darker. Gang stalk is real. And I can tell you one. If every everybody did what I did, we would have made more progress in stalking this by now. Now, I don't recommend also, if you're target watching this, start making videos, get the word out. Most targets are not ready for high level target. Most targets are very vulnerable to being attacked with poisons. I'd say more vulnerable a lot of time than what I've been. I survived a dart gun attack. There's a reason I survived it. So it's up to each and every person to decide how to deal with this. But I can tell you that what I'm doing is something that matters. Meaning me making videos, getting word about gang stalking, not being anonymous TI but putting myself out here. I'm a total video talk with gang stalking, and I'm visible. I'm not hiding. I have an online presence. And it's not that every video has to be gang stalking, just me being a total individual that has shared my testimony that I'm a total video talk with gang stalking. Anything that I do that puts me in front of an audience and help reach people. Do you understand? I mean, it's not that everything I do has to be about gang stalk. If I'm on TikTok and I live stream exercising and whatever I end up doing in the live stream, and there's some people that subscribe to my TikTok from this live stream or whatever I'm doing, I might not even be talking about gang stalking this shit. I might just focus on exercise, talk about health, fitness, stuff like this. Subscribe to me. Maybe within a week I'll go live, and in that live stream I end up talking about I'm told with gang stalking. And they just heard about this conspiracy happening in Sweden. So it's similar to the gospel. It's not that every video I do has to be the gospel for the gospel to be preached to more people by me being active on YouTube. If I make a live stream playing video games, and it will be a person subscribed to my channel because they see that they see me playing video games and they're like, oh, this guy's a guy playing video games on YouTube. I'd like to see shooting gaming streams or whatever else he uploads. To subscribe to the channel. Next year I might go live how to get saved from hell like a fire and to learn how to get saved. So anyway, I'm a total video and it's time to wake up. You have to realize that the deep state control the stuff from behind the scenes, and they have more control than people think. They control a lot of influencers. And I do enjoy being uncontrolled, being a person that doesn't take orders from the deep state. I'm free. I was also taken to a psych ward from speaking out about the tone and reacting to, which is what they work to do. They work to provoke you and drive you nuts, and then if you go nuts a little bit, reacting to the target, they use that against you to be, oh, this guy's paranoid or crazy, needs to be in a cycle. Thanks to God, I didn't die in there. I was more expecting than not at a certain point in time that going to the psych ward, being institutionalized, they're going to take me out of there. I think they might Epstein me in there. Or have like an inmate plan to attack me or whatever. Have the inmate, had the staff that one or more of them were in order to get put up to poison me or drug me or whatever. Jag är gonna fish.